Product Creation Secrets. My name is Jason Fladlien, and I am here today to show you something that you might not be aware of that I believe can make you a fortune if properly applied. To put it in its proper place, I'm going to do like a speed Keanu Reeves pop quiz hot shot kind of interaction to kick this off. We're going to be active throughout this chat. This is a conversation more so than a presentation, and the first question I have for you is true or false? A great product with bad marketing will make more money than a bad product with great marketing. Go ahead into the chat box here. Type in true or type in false or type in T or type in F. It doesn't really matter to me how you do it, just that you do it. I want you to think. This is a stimulating webinar. This isn't a you just sit back, kick back, and then hope magic happens. We're going to help each other out here, and I need your help by your attention. So is it true or false that a great product with bad marketing makes more money than a bad product with great marketing? And here's the answer, and it's an interesting answer. And the answer is false. A bad product with really good marketing will make more money than a really good product with really bad marketing. Caveat, in the short term. In the long term, not so much. Whatever business that you're doing online, you're doing that business, and you're also doing the marketing of that business. And most people don't want to do the marketing portion of any business. They just want to do the business. They say, hey, I'm an accountant. I don't want to market my services as an accountant. Or they say, hey, I'm a restaurant. I don't also want to be a marketer. But unfortunately, marketers with really bad products in the short term typically make more money. My big breakthrough early on in my career was how do I make the product my strongest marketing lever? Because then I don't have to get better at marketing, but I have all the benefits of making money that marketing provides. Because in the short term, good marketing is the fastest, quickest, easiest, most profitable way to do this online business. Question number 2, true or false? You need to be an expert to create an information product. You have to somehow or another have paid your dues. You've had to have like your Archimedes moment, your eureka. I figured out this big insight that nobody else in the whole world of 7 billion people know. Is that true? Is that false? That you need to be an expert to create an information product? And it is absolutely 100% false. Expertise can help. And there are certain instances where expertise is good to have for certain types of products. But it's a double-edged sword. You ever heard of the curse of expertise or the curse of knowledge? Expertise can actually work against you. In the information business, interestingly enough, the experts are also kind of handcuffed to their inability to take advantage of their own expertise in the information business. In fact, for most of you, being an expert at a thing is going to be a disadvantage, and I would urge most of you to start in products where you have no expertise. If that sounds bonkers to you, awesome. Wait till I reveal why that is important. But expertise, you have it, great. You don't have it, great. It does not matter when it comes to profiting online. True or false? Most good product ideas have already been done. Go ahead and type in true or type in false. There is really no wrong answer here. It's just, where's your perception at? And then we'll figure out, is it the right perception for you? Does it serve you right? Is it nuanced? And do you understand the deeper meaning of what's going on here? But true or false, most good product ideas have already been done. And here's the answer to that. True. I'm a pretty forward, straight-talking individual you're going to discover because it's hard to make money if you don't acknowledge reality. And it's easy to make money when you acknowledge reality and say, because of reality, here's what I should do, or here's what's going to give you the most leverage. But here's the truth of it. Most product ideas have already been done. But the beauty of the information business is the following. When people want to solve a problem, they don't just buy one information product and call it a day. Let me ask you this in your own personal purchasing habits. When you wanted to learn how to do something, how many products did you buy on the topic? Come on, be honest, right? It's probably more than the number of fingers I'm holding up right now. Recently, I got back into cooking and I wanted to do cooking. We have like 15 cookbooks. I probably won't even look at 8 of them, but I feel really comfortable having a stack of 15 cookbooks beside the stove that I might not even actually use in any time, shape, or form anytime soon. When I had a German Shepherd that we adopted that was crazy as the day is long, I didn't just follow one dog trainer's information. I followed several of them, even the ones that contradicted each other. Now, here's what's awesome about this business that I'm going to show you as well. We can twist any old tried and true topic with one slight tweak, one slight angle that every single one of you have on this call. And all of a sudden you take something old and make it something brand new and unique so you can get the best of both worlds. True or false? You have to sell your info products at really high prices if you really want to make money, or is it, like how are we going to make money selling $2, $3, $4, $5 Kindle type of information products online? So is it true or false that you have to sell your info products at high prices? And the answer to that is absolutely false. In fact, I am going to suggest to you, if you haven't made any real money online yet, to start with really low-priced products. Yes, let me say that again. Unless you have made consistently online $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month, I am here to tell you to start selling your products at really low prices. And I know I have just contradicted every supposed guru who's a supposed expert at this business who is going to tell you how the way things should be done. And I find that a lot of people in this business, they remind me of like, a professional athlete trainer teaching somebody who just walked into the gym their first day, right? I mean, that professional is 57,000 steps ahead of everybody else. And if their advice to you is to do things the way they do them, you're going to fail. And so I'm calibrating the information to you right now to where you're at, not to what I know you could do in the future, but what can you do today that can make you money by next week or next month? And I'm telling you, the best way is to start with low price products. And I'm going to prove all of these to you, hopefully, over our short time here together. Last question, though, true or false? Speed is more important than ever when it comes to information product creation. And this is the most important question of all. And the answer to this is 100% true, which is going to be our focus here today. So on this webinar, here's what you're going to discover. You're going to discover how to create high quality information products. And you're going to discover how to do it in 2 hours or less from scratch. And I know that sounds preposterous, but I will show you how to do it. And these are the types of products that are magnetic to the types of people who want to spend money. So they seek you out more easily than you have to seek them out. And they will do well despite poor marketing, because marketing is such an art and such a science, and it requires such a specialization of skill set that I don't want you to have to figure that stuff out before you can make any money. We want to make money, and then we'll pick up marketing maybe along the way or not. That's what we're going to do on this webinar today. Here's my promise to you. My promise is I'm going to attempt and try my damnedest to give you the most incredible content that you've seen thus far in 2020, or you will see for the entirety of the year. And the reason I'm doing that for you is twofold. One, to help you be successful, because your success is my success. But the second reason is more pragmatic, and that's this, that I'm hoping that you say, wow, this was so empowering, Jason, that when you show me your offer that you have at the end of this webinar, spoiler alert, I do have a really special offer for you, that you'll say, wow, this is amazing. This is awesome. I want in, because if this is what you're giving away for free, that's totally been game-changing for me, I'm willing to go to the next level with you. And if that's the case, and it makes sense for you, and it's a right fit for you, then I have some extra special stuff for the early action takers amongst you. Is that cool? Do we have a deal? Is that all right if this is our agenda today and how we proceed? All right? Good. Here's the problem with bright and shiny objects. Is they leave you blind and they leave you broke. Now, their allure is very hard to resist, and I struggle with this issue as well. And the reason I show you this slide right now is because information products, they are not bright objects. They are not shiny objects. They are not what all the cool kids on TikTok are doing these days. This is, as far as shiny objects goes, this has a coat of dirt on top of it, blocking out its real true inner core of value and glow. And that can be a challenge, because if you are not willing to set aside the bright shiny object syndrome and focus specifically on, does this make sense right now for me, and is this a good time or not, then I'm not going to have the impact on you that I'd like to have. My challenge is I want to teach you the thing that I know is the best. Not the thing that you might think is the best. Not the thing that would be the easiest to sell as a concept. But the thing that if you were my best friend and you say, Jason, what should I be doing right now? I'd say, all right, here's what you're going to do, and teach you this. So this is the issue. I am going to fight you on this. And it's a fight I've came to fight. And it's a battle that I'm prepared to win. But I'm going to wage war with this issue of the lack of brightness and shininess. That is the topic of information products. And what exactly are information products? Let me simplify it for you, because it could be a lot of things. It's digital training. It's basically, here is how you follow a solution in a step-by-step process. And How can you deliver this? You can put it in an ebook. Great. You could put it in an audio program. Great. You could put it in video. Awesome. I don't really care about the format. What I care about is it an information product that somebody can buy that solves a problem for them? That every time you sell one of those, you get paid good money. So that's an information product. So when I talk about the info product business, I'm basically talking about ebooks, audio programs, and video programs. Ebooks, MP3s, and MP4s. PDFs, MP3s, MP4s. That's it. It's simple. It is just a vehicle to deliver information to somebody who pays you money for it. Now, why information products? And why the information business in 2020? Well, we have a weird situation right now. So this is how the business looked in 2011. Online in 2011, there wasn't quite that many distractions back then. Would you agree with that statement, by the way? Nowadays, there's like 176,000 different ways to make money online. But back in the early, more infancy days of e-commerce, there was a couple of ways. And so here was the situation I found myself in when I really mastered this art of the information business back in 2011. On the left in this market, you see there's all sorts of sellers. There's a never-ending line of people who are supposed experts at creating and selling information products. Now, the market of people that were interested in learning the information business approach and learning the information business model was small. There wasn't a lot of buyers of how do I start an information business, or how do I sell an information product, or how do I create an information product, but there was a lot of shovel sellers promising you the digging for gold, right? And then what has happened here along the way up until 2020 is it's went like this. Tons of sellers left and a bunch of buyers entered the realm. Interesting, huh? So all these sellers left for bright, shiny objects themselves. But what nobody seems to be aware of is the amount of people who are now spending money on information products has went up 148 times since I first started this business. A business that made me $1 million when it was 148 times smaller than it was today, and it was 3 times more competitive. Here is the proof for you. Information products online are more in demand than ever, and there's a variety of reasons this is the case, but it is on pace to be a $325 billion industry by 2025, where almost $1 billion is spent a day. So I want to show this to you another way. So I built this little thing to put it into perspective, because $350 billion, that's a lot. It's a hard number to wrap your head around. But I'm going to load this page here, and this is how much money, since I loaded this page, that information products have sold online since the moment I clicked on that link on that slide. And we're already to the point where it's about $100,000. All right, we might come back and look at that later and see where we land before the end of this presentation. Now, here's the thing about information products that I love so much, which makes this a positive feedback system, which makes it easy to make money once you get up and go. You essentially get paid to solve problems. And let me put it to you this way so you can really understand on a bumper sticker, essentially, what this business is about. For someone who can't sleep at night, what's a good night's sleep worth? If you have troubles with sleeping, and if you could pay somebody $10 and all of a sudden you can now sleep a lot better than you could before, who got the better deal? Did you get the better deal, or did the information product seller get the better deal? The answer is the problem with the person with the problem of sleeping got the better deal. Now, let's take it a step further. Does the person with the problem who paid for the solution and received that solution, do they care if the solution that they paid for was only a few pages long? They do not care. They just care about the result. And I know that seems obvious, but a lot of people miss that in this business. In fact, I would argue that if you taught somebody something and it took you 600 pages, when it should have took you 6 pages, that you are doing them a disservice by fluffing it up and by adding in a lot of extra noise that doesn't help. The leaner, the meaner, the simpler, the more straightforward, the shorter your products are, the more valuable they actually are, provided that they're solving problems. So you do that, you get paid twice. You get paid for the solution and you get paid for your efficiency. Because most people that are creating information products, they're like 57 videos long, or they're like 57,000 words long, and it's just preposterous. It's a lot of work for not a lot of pay. We're not going to do it that way. Now, the cool thing about information products is that you get about 100% profit margins on them. We don't have to print anything. We don't have to ship anything. We don't have to like create any physical anything. We send information through the internet, and that is essentially 100% profitable to us. Bottom line is the trick to success in this business is picking the right problems to solve, because not every problem is worth solving, and some problems that you can solve easier than others. So we want to pick the right problems to solve, and then we want to solve those problems in the simplest yet most powerful ways. That's how we get paid. Not by effort. Whether it's hard or easy, doesn't matter. Picking the right problems. So I want to pick problems that people are easily happy to spend money with. Problems that you can solve in a lazy afternoon. Because the bank don't care. The bank don't care if you picked a hard problem to solve or an easy problem to solve. Your market doesn't care if it took you 5 minutes to create that solution or 500 hours to create the solution. This is the game that we're playing. And what I'm about to share with you step by step today here, it works beyond a shadow of a doubt. It made me a millionaire, self-made millionaire before the age of 30, multi-millionaire shortly after, and it's took me to some of the craziest places in this business once I understood the very foundational model that I'm going to share with you today. In fact, I've worked with Zoom, the platform that we are on here right now, among some of the other market leaders and industry leaders, and just made a fortune along the way and helped a lot of people. But let's just be very clear with each other. It didn't start with millions. Here's what's going to turn your life around. Not the first million. What's going to churn your life around is when you make your first dollar selling information products using the very specific formula we're going to discuss here today. And it's the formula that I stumbled into more than discovered when I made my first dollar, which was in November 12, 2007. And to this very day, I still follow this model and this formula, millions upon millions of dollars later. Would you like to know what that formula is? Okay, write this down. This is very important to your financial future. Here is the formula. One problem, one solution, one sitting product creation. Simple formula, but there's more here than meets the eye. We're going to have to dig a little bit into this. Otherwise, you might just discount it and say, that doesn't seem magical. There is magic here, my friend, I promise you, in the formula. But for now, just know this. 1, 1, 1. One problem, one solution, one sitting product creation. See, here's what I've discovered about most of people that are trying to make money in internet marketing. I discovered that if you give them a week to create an information product, then you're not going to finish it. So if I said, listen, here's a week, go, come back with an information product that's done that we can sell, you won't finish it. If I say you only have a weekend to create this product, go. Here's what I know. The chances of you finishing it are almost non-existent. You say, Jason, it's only a weekend. I don't care. That's just how this plays out. Even if you give yourself the day from 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. to create the product, it's still unlikely you're going to get it done. Because even when you're starting out in this business, until you start getting momentum, even a single day is too long. Here is the conclusion of all conclusions. When starting out, if there is any break between the start and the finish of your information product, you are probably doomed to fail. Whoa. That is powerful, powerful stuff. And I know a lot of people don't agree with that. But then we watch them in the marketplace and they struggle months, then years, and they don't tap into this model. But if you do follow this process when starting out, your chance of success is astronomical. So here is the solution. The product creation process starts when you sit down and begin working on that product. And the product is finished when you get up. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is an inflexible rule of engagement, right? You say, Jason, what if I got to go to the bathroom? You have two options. Option number one, hold it. Or option number two, hurry up and finish the product. You say, Jason, are you that serious? I say, yes, I am that serious. Now, here's what it's going to cost you, because everything has a cost. There is no such thing as the millionaire who gets there by not doing anything, right? It's going to cost you about an hour and a half to 3 hours of dedicated focus. What I've discovered in this business, that if you chunk down short sessions of deep focus, you will actually work 10 times as less, but get 100 times more results. Because most of us, we are not programmed to slowly but surely go through something and polish it and try and improve it. And that's painful. It's arduous. It takes too much effort. And that's why it fails almost all of the time. We have to limit ourselves to very short bursts. And what's great about that, you do it once and it's done. So will you promise me that you'll try this out? Can you work and focus for uninterrupted periods of time of maybe 90 minutes to maybe 2 hours? And maybe a little bit longer than that. I don't think that's asking too much, is it? Is that a reasonable request? Because if you can't do that, you're probably not going to make it in any business, because you will need times where you can focus. They're not a lot, but focus enough, okay? But in other words, to look at this from a different perspective, you're going to sit down with a blank screen, and then you're going to get up with something that can make you thousands of dollars. And I've seen this work every single time to that tune of thousands of dollars. And it can make you, even in some instances, tens of thousands of dollars. And that's more often than not how that plays out. It can sometimes actually make you even six figures, hundreds of thousands of dollars from a single product that you created in one sitting. I've seen that happen many times. And although it is very, very rare, it still happens that occasionally it can even make millions of dollars. But isn't that wonderful? Here's what this means. It means your product has to be short. If you have to create it in one sitting, it can't be long. It has to be short. It means that your product must be actionable. Would you believe that most information products out there, they don't really have a roadmap? They tell you how to build the watch without telling you what the time is. So you have to create things that are actionable. And you must only cover the essentials, not the other stuff that probably doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but the few things that do matter. Okay? No history lessons, no dealing with every possible scenario, no covering every little detail, no big, fat, inflative, massive solutions, right? Just what? One problem, one solution. One very specific problem and one very specific solution. That is the secret to success of this business. Is that sexy? I don't know if it's sexy or not. I'll tell you, the money it can make and the lives it can change and the impact you can have, I would say that's pretty damn sexy. We got to start small. So you say, Jason, this all sounds fine and dandy, but what does this look like? All right. Well, this is what it looked like for me when I first started. Here's my very first ever product. It was called How to Write an Article in 7 Minutes or Less. And I published this product on November 12th, 2007. And that's when I made my first dollar in the information business. A glorious day of all days. It was the day that my life changed forever. My hope is you look back on our webinar here today and you tell me in the future, you say, Jason, this is the day that changed my life forever when I made my first dollar online. But this was what the product looked like. So very narrowly focused type of product. I didn't teach people where to submit articles to. I didn't teach them how to monetize those articles. I didn't even tell them how to write the headlines for those articles. I just taught them how to write articles faster. That was it. That's a very specific problem. And I solved it in a very specific way. I said, you want to write articles faster? Here's what you do. Step 1, you open up these 3 sites. Step number 2, you find 1 point from each of these 3 sites. Step number 3, you support it with 2 supporting points. You get the idea, right? That's all that it was. It was a straight shot. You want this, step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this, step 4, do that, and you're done, right? Here's the anatomy of this product. Here's what your products are going to look like. Your products are going to look along these lines. My product was 7 pages long. I had a typo in the first sentence. I screwed up. You can't be perfect in this business. Perfect is the enemy of done in this business. Most of you, you're trying to be perfect, and that's the worst form of imperfection. So I screwed up a little bit, but nobody cared, all right? Because it helped. And I'll tell you about more of that in a second, but 7 pages long. Typo in the first sentence. It wasn't perfect. I sold it for $4 measly, pitiful dollars. And it took me less than 2 hours to create. Do you think under the right circumstances, you could block off a chunk of time and sit down and write 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages? I think you could do that. I don't think that's asking too much. You say, Jason, I can't write to save my life. Do you think you could open up a recording and speak into a microphone for that long with an outline? Maybe. I don't know, right? Usually I found is whether you want to make money or not, you can find a way. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're probably right. But here's the result of this. The result of this was I took out a little $20 ad on a message board that was specifically focused for article writing. And that sold 268 copies of that product at $4 a pop in 24 hours. And I got really brave. It's amazing how confidence comes automatically as a byproduct. I didn't have to learn how to be confident or practice confidence. It just happened automatically. So I bumped the price to $7 the next week, sold a bunch more, and I bumped it to even a higher price of $17 the week after that and made a bunch more. And here's what I discovered. People were actually getting results with these products because they could read it in a few minutes and immediately apply it. How many products do you buy where that's the case? Almost none. So these are actually easier products for you to create, and they get better results. The bottom line, though, is I was seeing these results from my first ever product, all these happy customers, and a lot of money in my bank account, more money than I'd ever made before in my life, and I was hooked. I said, whoa, even if I don't get better at this, even if I just repeat this over and over again, this is going to be the easiest way that I can make 6 figures a year. And I was wrong, because I ended up making 7 and 8 figures a year. Because you can get better. First time is your worst time, but you'll still be profitable. So many other business models out there, you got to be almost perfect just to have any hope of maybe making some money. This model is you can be very imperfect in very many ways, and you'll still make money despite yourself, not because of yourself. And I know what some of you are thinking right now, and I love you for it, but it's not true. You're thinking, well, yeah, Jason can do that. He's Superman. You know, they even make cartoon graphics of me and call me Superman. Because they've seen where this has taken me, but they didn't see where I started in this business. We say, I'm not Jason, so I can't do this. Only people that are gifted or really good writers or really great presenters or whatever the case may be. And that's bull. I am absolutely confident that anybody on this training here today can do this, provided you have the following 3 things. Okay? I'm going to give you the rest. But I need you to have the following 3 things. And if you have the following 3 things, I absolutely am 100% positive that this is going to be the easiest way that you can make money and make impact online in your online business. Here's the first thing. You have to have some ambition. Here's the second thing. You have to have a bit of focus. Here's the third thing. You have to have a good amount of desire. Okay? You don't need the ambition that moves mountains, by the way. You just need some ambition. But if you don't want it, I can't help you get it. But if you want it, I can help you get it, and I will help you get it. You got to have some focus, right? I'm not talking like monk level focus where you can meditate for 6 hours at a time, right? Just those little whacks of focus where we focus an hour here or 2 hours here or 2 hours there. Sprints of focus. You got to have that. Most important is you got to have the desire. This isn't a game for hobbyists, all right? This is not a hobbyist pursuit. You got to desire the value that you'll receive because you're putting value out there. You got to have the desire to want to make your life better than what it was supposed to be. Because most people I know in this business, they didn't have high expectations of them. Nobody ever looked at them and said, that person is going to make a lot of money. Most people I discovered in this business, they were expected to be far less down on the impact and economic skill than they will be if they have the desire. So you have to desire this. Do you desire this? Do you desire the $1 million you'll be compensated because you put out $10 million worth of value? How much do you desire this? If you have that desire, I can take care of the rest. If you don't have that desire, nobody can help you in this business. But that's it. Ambition, focus, and desire, I will take care of the rest. So here's what this looks like. Whether you've done a product before or not, because some of you have created information products and some of you did okay with them. Some of you did great with them, by the way. Some of you failed miserably creating information products in the past. I don't care. Whatever your story is, it ends today, right? Your first information product or your next information product, you're going to do it the following way. You're going to focus on one narrow problem. You're going to provide only one specific solution for it. You're going to create the product in one sitting. You're going to present that product in a step-by-step format. First do this, then do this, then do that, then do this, then do this. Most of you, your products will not be longer than 9 steps. They'll be closer to 5, 6, or 7 steps. And here's the last one. Here's the one that's going to be the hardest to accept. But accept it and profit, or reject it and perish. You will sell this product at a very low price. Lower than you feel comfortable. You say, whoa, how come, Jason? Why are you saying I have to sell this at a low price? Well, let me put it into context for you. I want you to meet Maddie here. So way back in 2009, I first taught the concept of one problem, one solution, one sitting. It was in its infancy. To be honest with you, I really didn't even know what I was doing. But I felt like it could be useful, maybe help a couple people, so I did it anyway, right? And way back then, Maddie heard the concept that I shared, and he was like, all right, let's go. And so he signed up for the offer at the end, but even before the offer started, where he was going through the eClass, he started ahead of time and acted just on the concept of one problem, one solution, one sitting. Now, here's the thing. Let me talk about a couple points. Point number one, Maddie says, I already had the idea of what I wanted to do for as long as 2 to 3 months, but never got around to doing it. I find this to be the case. Most of you have a lot of money already inside of you. But until you get it out of your head, you will never be able to actually feel, touch, or deposit any of that money into your bank account, right? So what I do is kill your procrastination habit. And one of the ways that we do that is by putting it at a low price. Then there's no pressure. Then you don't have to sit down and build a whole spreadsheet out of mathematical models of what should I price it at for optimal profit margins. Who cares? Just sell it for something. And then if you screw it up, change the price later. You know how easy it is to change the price of something? It takes about 2 mouse clicks, right? Now, he says, I spent 8 hours overall. That's very clear here for you. I just want to be straight with you. Even if it takes you to 2 hours to create the product, there's going to be some other stuff you're going to do. So you might have to do a little bit of research, and I can show you how to do that. The research is pretty easy. You might have to set up tech. Now, Maddie didn't have some of the assets that I've developed since then. So he played around with it a little bit, right? But he did have the template that I use to sell information products. It did convert at an insane rate of 1 out of 5 people who saw the offer for his product bought it. And he made 272 sales, $4,500 in 24 hours. And here's why. Because he didn't deliberate on should I do this or should I do that? Should I price it this way or should I price it that way? You're your own worst enemy when it comes to making money online, when you invite in all these little nagging self-doubts. And so when I tell you price the product low, I am doing that for your benefit because that gets you out of your own way and gets you making money, which is how this game should be played. I'm not going to show you the best way to do it because that's what everybody else shows you. Let me show you the perfect way to do it. It doesn't work. Let me show you the way that's going to make you money as soon as possible. And then we'll make even more money when we build on top of that. Here's the point. Where you'll fail or where you'll succeed in this business. So most people will fail, and I'll tell you why they'll fail. Because they stress over these things like, well, what if this happens, or what if that happens, or what if I make this mistake? And that is the freaking ticket to procrastination coming in and sitting down next to you and becoming your best friend. But something Maddie said to me has stuck with me for all of these years later. He says, Jason, I knew success was inevitable. And I thought, wow, what does that look like? What is inevitable success? Could I teach inevitable success to you? If you had inevitable success, what does that mean? It means you're going to be successful no matter what. What is inevitable success? Here's what I found it to be in the information product business. Here's what Maddie understood, and here's what I have since thought about for many years to shape the trainings that we do today on how to create information products. Inevitable success is like this. You create your first information product. If it sells well, great. You just made a bunch of money. Congratulations. If it doesn't sell well, great. You say, Jason, what do you mean great? You know what that means? You have an asset. You have something that you can leverage. You can give it away and make money that way. You can use it as a bonus when you promote another product, right? You are one step closer to the profit. You actually did something and had a result with it. That is brilliant. That's inevitable success. Here's what's most likely to happen, though. Your product will do okay. It won't set a record. It won't get you man of the year or woman of the year in whatever topic or field you're in, right? But you'll say, whoa, I spent a couple hours and I made $5,000. I made $7,000. I made $19,000. That's okay. But you're making money the better way, where you do the work once and can get paid for it over and over again, as the way which most of you are trying to make money right now, or the way that most of the world makes money is just you do the work once, you get paid once. That's inevitable failure. This is inevitable success. Here's the reality of this situation. Some products you create will do better than others. Some of your products will flop. I still flop products occasionally, right? Even Michael Jordan's misses shots. Some of your products will do okay, but a few of your products will completely change your life. And I'm talking the individual products that build 6 or 7 figure streams of income passively around. But that doesn't happen until you start putting out a product, then another product, and then another product, right? Doesn't happen. So you're going to see it all. You're going to have products that do okay. You're going to have products that don't do so good. But it doesn't matter because you don't put much effort in. You're not really invested in any of these products. You don't have to spend $15,000 and earn a marketing degree to figure out how to do the first step with this, right? Put a little bit of time in. Win, lose, or draw, you are one step closer to that financial freedom that most of us never get to taste, touch, or feel, right? And here's what I've discovered. The difference between the home runs, the base hits, and the strikeouts mainly comes down to one thing and one thing only. And that is what the product focuses on. Or another simpler way to put it is, what is the name of the product? So let's play a game. I'm going to give you a couple products and their titles only. And then we're going to say, what's wrong with these products? And here's what I'm looking for from your end. The most wrong thing. Like the thing that is by far the worst part about the product. So let's do this. You ready for this? Here it is. First product. What's wrong with this product? The complete guide to real estate, A to Z. The complete A to Z guide to real estate. You say, Jason, there's a lot wrong with this product, and you are correct, my friend. There's a tremendous amount of things that are wrong with this, but there is one thing more wrong than all the rest of the wrong combined, and that is what? And I'm seeing some of you in the chat here. You're giving some very interesting answers, and very few of you are getting this, which shows you that you hear a concept once, it doesn't mean that you've mastered it. Repeated exposure helps in this kind of stuff. And here it is. Okay, a couple of you got it, so congratulations for that. You can't make this product in one setting. Is it possible? Yes, it's too vague. Yes, it doesn't really hone in on that one specific problem, one specific solution. That's true. But the fundamental biggest problem with this is that there's no possible way. It would take you 6 months, and by the time you were finished, it would be irrelevant, and you'd have to start all over again, right? So that's the first product. What about this product? Money-making tactics for preteens. Okay, there's a lot of things wrong with this product. Some things right with it. By the way, this product might do well, even though it violates a big problem, a big rule of the information business. But I wouldn't do this product, or I would try to resist products like this. And again, most of you, you're struggling with this concept. You're kind of flirting with the truth, but not quite there. Some of you got it, though. That's good. Here's the big issue with this. How are they going to pay for it? Certain solutions people want, but they will never pay any money for, or it's too difficult, or it's too hard for them to pay money for. Solving somebody's problem is one thing. Having them be excited to pay you money to solve it, that's the difference. And so preteens, even if they're the market, they got to either like steal their parents' credit cards or convince somebody else to pay money for them. I don't even know what the legalities are around something like this. But we want to find things that we can sell that people are excited to pay money for. Not solve problems that people want to be solved, but maybe not like that eager and willing to hand money over for. Here's another one. How to cure overwhelm. I've seen many smart marketers fall into this trap and be unsuccessful as a result because they violate a principle of the information product business. So this is why it's really important that you have a mentor or a guide next to you, or some sort of support system, or at least something to bounce some ideas off of, or proven kind of sealed, signed, and delivered that says this is a winner, this is not a winner, go here, don't go there, right? So there's a lot of problems with this product, but here's the major problem with this product is it's not a specific enough problem. It is a problem. And if you poll your audience in any real market that is related to information whatsoever, they'll say, oh, I'm overwhelmed. And in the internet marketing business, this is a very common thing where people will feel overwhelmed. I bet you most of you are feeling overwhelmed right now. And it kind of makes sense because you got 156 marketers assaulting you from every single angle trying to get you to buy their stuff, right? So you say, I'm going to cure somebody's overwhelm. Well, it's too vague. It's a problem that doesn't have teeth to it. It's not specific enough, right? So that's where this product could fail. Now, could it work? It might work. But I like to stack the deck in your favor as much as humanly possible. And last one, for the wrong side of things. What to do in your 40s to prevent health issues in your 60s, okay? You could technically find a way to create this in one sitting. You could find, okay, I'm going to show one problem, and I'm going to solve it one way. I'm going to focus on the one specific thing that's most going to help people in their 40s. So it's a good target market. It's a very specific audience. Awesome. But the one issue here that will likely limit the financial viability and success of this product is what? Too long to see the benefit. People don't want to buy stuff that they have to wait a decade or two to see a result. They don't even want to have to wait a day, if possible. So that's where some of these products could fail. Now, they could succeed, by the way. I'm a big fan of businesses where even if you screw up, you can still make money. And there's not a lot of businesses like that, but these businesses, this could possibly work really well or do okay. But again, if we're trying to stack the deck in your favor, what should we do instead? All right. Well, what's right with this product? One trick to reduce your electric bill by 74% or more. Let's assume that there is a solution as such. And it doesn't matter whether so much of it's 74% or 32% or 41%. And I'm looking at some of the results of the questions in the chat right now. And there's a couple of red herrings I threw in here. First one is a lot of you are saying the one trick, the one trick, the one trick. That's just fancy marketing copy. That doesn't really matter that much. So that's not the real reason why. That's just a one problem, one solution. It's just dressed up a little bit. Some of you are saying, well, it's the specificity, Jason, of 74%. That might help. Not the real reason, though. Here is the easiest way to make money in the information business, is when what you sell is obvious that it's better than free. And you say, Jason, what do you mean by that? Well, if you saved more than $11 off your next electric bill and you paid me $10 for the product, that product isn't free. That product is better than free. Are you feeling that? So products that can make you more money than you spend or save you more money than it costs for the product, those are super easy to make money with. And you say, well, Jason, that only works in the internet marketing niche, right? Wrong. We've done this successfully in like the parenting niche, the / homeschooling niche, and the health. It's super easy, right? Mental health things is like how much is one session with a psychiatrist cost, right? What's your copay on your insurance? Well, that's what you're paying right now for this kind of stuff. There is not an offer I have found that can't lend itself to some sort of better than free appeal to it. So if you name it that, or if you focus specifically on that thing that could very easily save somebody a tremendous amount of time or money, that's going to be a winner. And that's the kind of problems we want to solve. What about this one? Here's another one. How to transform desserts into healthier, fat-burning versions of themselves without sacrificing the taste. Within this product lies one psychological principle that can be a total game changer for you in this information business. I have seen many smart marketers, this concept elude them, even to this very day. They succeed, but they don't have this working for them, at least on a conscious level. And there's a lot of good things with this product, but I will tell you the biggest one here, that if you create products like this, absolutely success now is boom, totally on your side. And that's for removing an obstacle. Promising a benefit is one thing. That's what everybody does. But benefits are possibilities of the future. Instead, what we want to do is eliminate pain points that exist in the present. And so when somebody wants to lose weight, they typically experience the pain of, oh, I got to eat foods that taste like crap, right? And that sucks. The present sucks, but maybe the future will be better. But if you could create products that addresses the present issue of here's what you will not have to suffer through to get a result, those products will do far better than any other types of products in terms of the appeals that you could go after. Eliminating an existing pain is worth about 10 times as much for somebody as promising a future benefit. You should probably write that down. Eliminating an existing pain is 10 times more profitable, 10 times easier to sell than the promise of a future benefit. All right? What about this one? How to get fitter by working out less. So this is another really powerful thing that I discovered in the information business after creating over 400 information products. I finally went back one day and noticed certain patterns of what was easier to sell and easier to create than others. And I discovered this one pattern. I found this very fascinating. So there's a lot right with these products, like this product right here, but there's one very, very powerful thing that if you design products around this one concept, again, just on its own, you can do really well with. And that's this. Write this down. Subtraction over addition. Most products that people are buying to solve problems add to their workload. So they buy something and then they have to find a way to have additional time to follow it. If you can find problems where eliminating existing actions instead of adding new actions to somebody's plate, those products are way easier to sell. So what are we doing here? We're strategically picking the right types of problems to solve. And I'm giving you the insight of $100 million plus in this business that I've experienced in the last 12 and a half years, right? Last one, how women health coaches can unlock Pinterest profits. Good product. There's a lot to this. You could create it in one sitting, certainly. You could find one specific way that women health coaches can make money. And you could address that. You could say, step 1, do this, step 2, step 3. But here's the most important principle of all. It calls to a very specific audience. So this is the twist I was talking to you about earlier. You could take any winning product out there. You could take a product that has been proven to be in demand, that people love to buy, and everybody's excited about, right? And if you refactor it and focus it more specifically on a very narrow slice or segment of a market, you win. You win because you go to where the customer is at, as opposed to asking the customer to come to where you're at. See, a lot of profits are lost in the information business is because people are too stubborn and too selfish. They say, I'm going to make the customer work hard to decode what I'm saying and apply it to their situation. We say, I'm going to work hard once to decode it and put it exactly into the terms and language and understanding that my customers have, not mine. And then we profit. And that's actually not that hard. It's just a different way of looking at things. That's all there is to it. There's no more effort to it. It's just like, oh, I'm going to put on glasses now. Or I'm going to look through a microscope instead. And that changes the whole game. So let me sum it up for you. This is a real big insight for you that will totally change the game. And it's this. You want to, as much as possible, have one or more of the following in the information products that you create. You want to have something that's better than free, meaning that it can make or save you more in time and or money than what you would invest in it. And there's countless, almost a never-ending line of supply of products that can do that. You want to make sure you're focusing on eliminating pain in the present, not just potential benefit in the future. You want both. You want carrot and stick, right? But make sure you have that pain point elimination as your big focus. You want to aim for that quick payoff. The sooner you can relieve somebody's pain or suffering, the better. So you want something that can work almost, if not the first time that they apply it. You want something that somebody can get movement on and see a benefit or a result the very first time that they do it, because instant gratification is the most compelling thing that you could ever sell to. And then if you can call to a specific narrow audience and say, here's a quick way to get a very fast result that very quickly eliminates this existing pain you have, and here's how this translates into money and or time saved, you have a runaway winner. Once you can do one or more of these things in an information product, then check this out. Your traffic problems become a thing of the past. Because once you do what I just said, now it becomes obvious. Oh, if I want to go into these Facebook groups, you're going into the right Facebook groups. You say, what forum should I go on to where I could get exposure? You know what forums to go on now because you're so narrowly focused and specific. They will be self-evident. What blog should I comment on? Because blog commenting can make you money. It will be so clear and obvious to you. So you don't have a traffic problem. Nobody has a traffic problem. You have a lack of clarity and focus problem. But when we remove all the distractions, then it becomes, oh, I could go to this subreddit, right? Or I could use Twitter and use these hashtags. Or I could Instagram and put myself in these types of circles. Or I could create this type of Pinterest content if you have something that lends itself well to Pinterest. SlideShare sites are a great way to get traffic. I've gotten tens of thousands of visitors from SlideShare sites. You will know what keywords to put in your SlideShare site titles and such like that. It's less the SlideShare site. It's more that if you're calling the right audience out, if your product lends itself well on LinkedIn, now you know what LinkedIn groups to join. Podcasting, you know what to name your podcast, and people will find it because they will search for podcasts that are specific to their issues. Did you know you could sell information products on eBay? Well, now you will have them on there. It's one thing to have them on there. You'll have them on there right, so when people search for it, they'll find it. Kindle, same way. It is super easy to get joint ventures where somebody will come to you or you'll go to them and say, hey, let's partner on this. We'll promote it and we'll split the profits. Udemy, which is another place to publish information products. It's less the actual place to publish. It's more what you're publishing that will get you traffic. Do you understand what I'm saying? We make products where our buyers find us more so than us trying to go out and find our buyers. And by doing those rules that I just showed you on the previous slide, that's how you do this, even if you don't realize you're doing this. You won't even think about driving traffic. You'll just be like, oh my God, this is so obvious. These are where the people that I created this product for are. And now you don't need any fancy, technical, crazy stuff, right? That stuff will be good down the line. Don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about, I want you to make $10,000 or more by next month from what you've learned here today. So how would you do that? Here's the easiest path to financial freedom. You will create a 1-1-1 product, a one problem, one solution, one sitting product that can be easily and reasonably justified by the user as free. Oh, wow, what a good deal, right? That promises a very specific result in a very specific time. So that's the instant gratification. So you will be able to do this within this time, right? Without the normal sticking point or the normal pain that's generally associated with that, and you will make it appeal to a very specific audience. The more narrow the audience, the better. There are 7 billion people plus on this planet, actually closer to 8 billion people. But you will make fortunes if you're focusing on the thousands, not on the millions. And there's lots of little pockets of 1,000 here, 1,000 there, 1,000 there. And that is the fastest way. The millions of dollars are found in the thousands of people, or the thousands of dollars are found in the billions of people. Which one do you want? Start small, start narrow, but the easiest way for you to win big. And does this really work, though? Well, you could ask Jay Boyer. So Jay enrolled in a previous product creation eClass because I've been running product eClass now over a decade before my firstborn child came into this world. And by the second week of product eClass, he had already earned over $10,000 because I practice what I preach. I set up situations so you can understand and act on them immediately and see results soon, not in the distant future. And Jay used that as a springboard for his whole career. See, once I get you going, you can tend to stay going. The hardest part about this business is getting started. You know what triggers an avalanche? A single snowflake triggers an avalanche. So once I trigger your profit avalanche, you could probably take it from there. And this is where Jay is now. And Jay's been in all sorts of niches. So this isn't just an internet marketing only type of thing. Children's books and any and everything in between, a multiple best-selling author, and he has a multi-million-dollar information product business based on what he learned foundationally and got to start from with what I've discussed with you on a webinar like this in the past. But does this really work? We could ask Kieran McDonogh, and he spent his last dollar he had on product creation coaching with me. He actually said to me, Jason, I'm concerned. I saw your webinar. I want to join Product eClass, but I'm unsure if I should or not, because if I do, it's going to be the last dollar I have to my name. I'm going to put all my money into this. So I don't know if I should do that or not. And I said, Kieran, listen. He says, yeah. I said, here's the deal. If you sign up for Product eClass and you think something magical has happened simply because you push the add to cart button and you put it in your information, I said, you might as well take your money and flush it down the toilet because it's not going to do anything for you. I said, however, if you're willing to set aside your ego, set aside your, well, what if I do this or what if I do that, or your ability to say, I don't know about that, Jason, I'm going to question that, right? I said, if you can just follow it as it's presented with no interpretation, no creativity, but just if I say do this, do this, do this, do that, then you do it. I said, if you can comply, if you can do that, then I don't know a better way to spend the last money you have to your name. And he says, fair enough, I'm in. And the result was this. Within the first couple of weeks of product eClass, he developed a product that did 5 figures. And then he used that product to become an information product consultant for others and generated millions for himself and his clients. Because again, I just want to trigger that profit avalanche for you. And then what you do with it, this is like alchemy. You can decide what you want to touch and turn to gold from there. And Kieran said this. He says, I owe a massive amount of appreciation to Jason Fladlien for mentoring me to success and giving me the permission to succeed. Isn't that an interesting word choice? Giving me the permission to succeed. See, all of you have within you the greatness for success, but most of you have never given yourself permission to succeed, nor has the world been set up to tell you you can succeed. And then a guy like me comes along and has the audacity to tell you that, yes, you can succeed. And more important, I'm going to give each and every one of you permission to succeed. And here's what Kieran says. He says, I've helped launch over 30 products, attract over 60,000 paying customers, and generating over $3 million for my clients, and probably another $1 to $2 million in affiliate commissions, right? Now, here's the tragedy of life, because life sometimes is tragic, is Kieran left this world prematurely. It was a freak snowboarding incident that claimed his life far before he should have left us behind. And it is a tragedy. And it makes me sad to this very day when I think about that and I talk about Kieran. But here's what happened. And this is, I really dwell on this a lot. When the internet marketing community found out that Kieran had passed away, somebody made a tribute post to him on Facebook. And all of these people came in and talked about how Kieran had positively impacted their life and how he was a difference for them, right? And I'm watching and I'm just reading it and I'm taking all this in and I'm processing it. And here's the deal. I like to talk about how I make you money. I don't make a big old, hoopla around with a positive impact you'll have on other people's and how this will give you purpose in life and the best way to help yourself is to help other people. I believe all that stuff, mind you, right? But the way I look at this business is I'm here to make you money first and foremost. That is my job. The rest is secondary. So I focus on the money aspect of the information business, but it cannot be overstated how powerful this is. And what I like to think about this is life can take any of us at any time, as it tragically took Kieran. It's not so much how much time we have on this earth, it's what we do with the time that we have. And I know that Kieran was able to live a life that I helped in part get started by flipping that switch on, getting going in this information business. But does this really work? You could ask Mandy Kendall, who said, Product eClass was my catalyst to financial independence. The program is comprehensive yet precise and easy to learn because I use the same structure that I teach you. All I had to do was implement. But does this really work? You can ask Costas Peppas, who took product creation coaching from me with Product eClass, and in one session of 111, it motivated him to finish a half-finished idea. So most of you have tried things in the past that you left unfinished. And if we come back around and finish just 1 or 2 of those things, here's what it did for Costas, at least. It transformed an abandoned idea into $19,000 of cash in about a week's time. So if this inspires you, great. If this doesn't inspire you and you do it anyway, great. That's what I'm here to do, is to get you the result. And I could go on and on and on and on and on about other success stories as well. I think you get it though, right? Others who are just like you did it. But does that mean that you can do it? And the answer to that is probably not. You say, what? What do you mean, Jason? Here's what I know. If we parted ways right now, would you immediately go out there and set the world on fire with your newfound product creation skills? And here's the answer to that. It is doubtful. Because when it comes to this business, I probably know you better than you know yourself. You're stubborn. You're a stubborn little booger who, if I let you, it's going to be so easy for you to quickly fall back and default to your old habits, the habits which are not making you the money that you, my friend, deserve. And that's why I ain't going to let that happen. Here's the deal. You need me in your ear for the next 6 weeks if you are truly going to use what I showed you here today and turn it into piles of cash. And best of all, If you don't quickly make back twice your investment with my product creation secrets that I'll share with you, then I'll give you double your money back. I can only make such a guarantee because I am that confident that the only thing preventing your success with Product eClass is not just following the most basic, simplest part of it. It's with great pleasure that I introduce to you Product eClass 2020. Here's where I got started. Not there, but in this tiny little shed, where my living room was my office, was my bedroom. And I had a dilemma because I couldn't fit both a desk to work at and a bed to sleep on. So you know what I did? I slept on the floor because I had the desire to succeed. And what made the difference for me was the following. What made the difference was when I made my first big investment, and it hurt to make such an investment. And I was unsure if I should be making it or not. But when I made my first big investment to work with the right mentor who gave me no other option to succeed, that's what changed the game for me. And I want to extend that beautiful gift of an opportunity to you as well. Product eClass 2020 is 7 sessions revealing in specific step-by-step detail every single important product creation strategy that I've discovered in my $100 million plus results in digital product sales, spanning all sorts of industries, niches, formats, and so on and so forth. Here's a quick overview of what you're going to get when you say yes to Product eClass. Session 0. This is the 5-figure info products in one sitting. This is the foundation. This is why we call it Session 0, where I break down very explicitly for you exactly how to outline your one problem, one solution, one sitting type of product. It is practically just fill in a blank here, fill in a blank there, add this thing, and you're done. I'm also going to show you how to find the best products to create in seconds using a secret research technique that will pretty much reveal all the big winners to you based on the formula and criteria I gave you earlier. You have to sell your info products with some sort of advertisement or sales letter. You could invent one yourself, or you can just use the one that I'm going to give you, where it's just fill in the blank. It is an updated, better version of what Maddie used. And it doesn't really matter what you're selling. It will work for you because it's based on some very basic concepts of human motivation. And then I'll show you the best traffic sources of how to plug into these sources to sell your first product. This is the very in-depth version of what we discussed here today on 111 products. And best of all, these are going to be products that you can sell that don't require any proof or expertise on your part. Now, if you have that, great. If you don't, it doesn't matter. Session 1 will be more than easily worth the whole Product eClass. Sorry, Session 0. Now, Session 1 is a third-party profit model. Remember earlier when I talked about expertise and how it can get in most people's way? There are millions of experts out there who barely can make ends meet. How many times have you met a PhD or a lawyer who was your Uber driver? All right, I rest my case. So there are people with the knowledge that you can apply my formula to, pull the knowledge out of them, and share it with the world and make far more money than you would have ever thought possible. And I have done this over and over again. And many of my Product eClass students, a majority of them, this is how they get their first big win. They partner with an existing expert, pull out the knowledge to them and put it in the framework that I share. And that's the magic. And you can do this faster than you would ever think possible. All right, that's the third-party profit model. A lot of this concept is based on the work that I did for Larry King, because I actually had to script questions for Larry for a segment where we worked on together. Session number 2, back-end profits, because at this point in time with the Session 0 and Session 1, you'll have customers. And the real money in this business is not in first-time customers, it's in repeat business with existing customers. So how do you get somebody who buys from you once to buy from you over and over again? Because now you have an audience, now you can create and solve other problems for them. This is how I went from 0 to 6 figures in less than 13 months, because I had a small amount of audience who bought the 7-minute article products. And I said, what else do you need? And they said, we need this. So I solved one little problem at a time and laughed all the way to the bank, right? So these types of people will not only buy more from you, they will refer others to buy from you as well. And that's what Session 2 is about. Session number 3 is the traffic deep dive. Now, I designed this session specifically for the one concept that I knew would come up when I talked about Product eClass. People oftentimes talk themselves out of major opportunities over minor worries, all right? And a lot of people absolutely believe that they will not be able to drive traffic, and so therefore they'll just stay wherever the hell they're at, which is not getting them the results they want. And I said, I'm not going to let you fall down to your lowest excuse. Instead, I'm going to rise you up to your greatest possibility, and that's why I did a whole session on traffic generation. I'm going to teach you the single greatest traffic technique that I know of, and it requires traffic that you don't pay any money for, and this traffic that is not even for sale, but it's the best type of traffic you can get. It requires you know a little secret about this business, and it's a secret that I share with you in Product eClass. Session number 4, high-ticket information products. Eventually, if you really want to go for the big amount of money, you're going to want to target the 1 in 10 customer who will spend 10 to 20 to 50 times as much money and be happier as a result. And I have many case studies of exactly what this looks like. And what's cool is it doesn't take much effort once you shift from this process to adding this thing to it. Now, I would love it if all of you could start there, but most of you will not be able to feel comfortable doing this until you make some money and have some success. And so this is why I have structured it in the way that I have. Session number 5, the webinar method. I can show you how to take a $4 product, use a template that I have, and turn it into something that can generate some big money for you in a short period of time, actually drive more traffic than you thought possible, and have a lot of people wanting to promote it. And so again, we're leveraging existing success. Pick a product that you create with 111, make a slight tweak to it, open up a whole new market. This is strategic problem solving. I hope you're getting what I'm putting down. I hope you're picking it up. And then session 6, now you're ready to play with the big boys and girls. These are the people that buy traffic. Now, most people start there, and that's equivalent to going into the karate dojo and saying, I want to fight the black belt already today 1. That's why you get your ass handed to you when you do that. I have built this up so by session 6, you can play with the big boys and big girls, and you will beat them. Because I'm going to show you the secret of the info market and how to drive traffic. I'm going to show you 3 little-known places that have tons of buyers that everybody else overlooks, because that's a big part of success, is you fish in the pond with the biggest fish where no other fisherman goes into. So that's Product eClass 2020. Now, each session is available in the video format, so you can download them. You can watch them anywhere you have an internet connection or anywhere that you want to log into the members area for. We also have the audio version if you just want to listen while you're out hiking or walking the dog. We have the PDFs of the slides that I've developed for each of these presentations. They're pretty intense. Transcriptions will be in the members area shortly if they're not already in there, because this is fresh off the press, right? And it's accessible to you anywhere you have an internet connection. It is in a members area that you get access to for life. So if you wanted to log in 2,109 days from now, you could, and keep profiting. So how much really is it for you to get started with Product eClass? First of all, tons of Product eClass members have made 5 figures, 6 figures, even 7 figures. So a price tag of $9,997 would be more than fair, because the value certainly warrants it. And I know many big famous gurus whose email list you and I are both on, who charge a lot more than that and offer a lot less. Now, if I were teaching Product eClass in a seminar room, it would be $4,995, which is the rate that I charge for such events. That's my going rate, to do the sessions as in depth as I do Product eClass. For other people, and people in the past have paid this, and people in the future absolutely will pay this, the going rate to the general public for Product eClass is $999.95. And that's what it goes for every single day. That's the normal price. But for you, if you act fast enough, here's how you can get started. You can take care of it for just one time at $499, or you can spread it out over 3 monthly installments of just $194 a piece. Here's what you have to do, though. You must go now, and you must go fast before this offer expires. And now let's make this investment a mere pittance by offering you some ridiculously valuable free bonuses. Bonus number 1. 101 killer product topics. What I've discovered is a lot of people get stuck on, what kind of product should I sell, Jason? Where should I start? They're very afraid for their first product. They want to make sure it's successful. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give you 101 different killer product ideas. I'm going to do it in all sorts of different niches. And I'm also going to give you step-by-step training on how you can leverage this even more. And by the way, most important, how you can spin out hundreds of unique products from these products so you can make them your own and be successful with them as well by applying the product topic twist And all that's covered in this special report that has never been seen before, which is the 101 new killer product topics that are up to date and ready for you to take advantage of them. Bonus number 2, once you have a product, you still have to sell it. And a lot of people forget that. And I don't want you to focus on the selling part of the product, because I've developed a formula that you can easily plug into, and you can sell these 111 style products and these other products. As I know, we've created over 500 products, actually closer to 1,000, and over $100 million in sales. And I've discovered a formula, especially for low price products, where all you got to do is fill in a couple blanks, and you're going to have this thing you can put online just like that, without worrying about any tech or anything with this, and that slows everybody else down. And you can start cashing in right away and making money as soon as possible, because that's my goal for you, is to make money within days or hours even. That's bonus number 2. Bonus number 3. Earlier this year, I did a training. I did a co-training with a product eClass alumni, Miss Maria Gudales, who is a multi-million-dollar marketer who took one of the first ever product eClasses way back in the day and helped her in her career and journey of internet marketing. And together, not too long ago, we just did a whole training on exactly how to build a following, right? So how to get a follower to give you their email address, or how to get a following on social media, the types of things that you can take them from free to paid types of followers, and on and on and on. And this is an absolute masterpiece of a class. It was designed specifically to sell product eClass. Now you get it as a bonus, though, for free, and you don't have to pay anything for it like other people had to with the follower challenge sessions on building your following. That's bonus number 3. Bonus number 4, the $1 Million Slide Deck. Listen, I don't think you should probably create your first product as a video product. For most of you, the easiest way is a PDF, open a Google Doc, and then save as PDF, and you're done and you're off to the races. But eventually, at some point in time, you're going to want to create training that is slide-based. And I actually teach you how to do that. And I don't want you to have to reinvent the wheel, though. I want to give you the slide deck that I use. It's this exact slide deck that you see here. And it's the one that I use for every single video product that I create, every single webinar that I do. So I'm going to just give you this $1 Million Slide Deck, and I'm going to give you the training specifically. And I'm going to give it to you in 2 formats, whether you use Keynote or PowerPoint, it doesn't matter, and step-by-step exactly how to do this. So when you're ready to take it to another level with video products, boom, this is already waiting for you. Bonus number 5, the eClass model itself. So product eClass is what I call an eClass. I invented that concept. Before me, there was no such thing as an eClass. Nobody called them that. You're going to get this bonus where you can do classes the way that I'm teaching you. So the very way that product eClasses run, I also reveal behind the curtain exactly how to structure your own. What's really cool about that is you can take a low-ticket product, restructure it as an eClass, and take a $4 product and sell it for $400 or more. We have seen that and taught that and repeated that over and over again. Bonus number 6, I'm going to offer myself to you in a private consultation format. Here's the deal. Once you reach $10,000 in product sales, all you got to do is reach out to support@rapidcrush.com. That's our support desk. And we'll schedule a private 30-minute consultation with me. And here's what I've discovered. Once you get going, I can accelerate your success from years to months to get from 5 figures to 6 into 7 figures, because this ain't my first rodeo. And I do consulting for some of the biggest names in this industry. And I have seen it all. So whatever you're encountering, I know where the secret sauce is to unlock massive amounts of dormant profit that are, it's not obvious, but it's kind of like my thing. It's what I'm really good at. And so this is designed, by the way, just so you know why this bonus exists, this is designed to give you yet more motivation to get out there and be successful. See, this is what I'm doing here, right? You say, Jason, I get it. You're trying to get me to buy product eClass by stacking in all these crazy bonuses. You're right, I am, but even better, I'm trying to make you successful by designing these situations where you can strive and reach out and have a goal to shoot for your success. And that's why I offer this bonus of this private consult. I do not offer this anywhere else. And these will come on a first serve basis. So whoever registers for this first gets the first consult, second, third, fourth, et cetera, et cetera. Bonus number 7. I'm going to give you resale rights to 3 of my information products. And here's why. I can create products so quickly and so easily because I eat my own dog food, as they say in the software world. I actually live the formula that I teach you myself. And so I create these products and then I flat out just give you 3 of them. And what I mean by that is you will have access to them and you should consume them because they're really good products and they will teach you a lot and they will be super valuable to you. But when I say give them to you, I mean give you the resell rights to them. So you can sell them yourself and keep 100% of your profits. Because if the name of the game is to make you money as quickly as possible, why wouldn't I do something like this? Already give you a product. Because it doesn't matter whether it's my product or your product, the lessons are still the same and they're still applicable and they're still valuable in Product eClass. So by the way, though, I don't just give you the product and the resell rights and allow you to keep 100% of it. I also give you a world-class sales funnel so you can sell these products and start profiting from them ASAP. Now, I'm only going to reveal one of those products to you. The other 2 products I want to keep secret and only make Product eClass members aware of them to leverage them. But let me just give you a little sneak peek. I have this product that you're going to get 100% resale rights to called Content Forever. The original version of this was created back in 2013 and has never had resale rights to it before. And it sold thousands upon thousands of units and was critically acclaimed. People loved it. Then several years ago, I pulled it off the market because I wanted to update it because I knew I could make it way better with everything that I learned now to create content very easily in every single useful format on the internet. You're going to love this product. I absolutely recommend that you go through this product as soon as you get your hands on it. So, you know how life gets in the way? Finally, just recently, many, many years later, did I get back to this and knock this out, finish this up. And now that I have, I'm going to give you the rights to sell this product and keep all the profits from it. Super valuable, super high quality products. That's what you're going to get in Product eClass with reseller rights. And let me just give you a little taste of the sales letter that you get with it. It even has a section for you that says note from the editor because I've already figured out how to position it so you can sell this product even though it's my product. It will make sense for the customer. It will convert really well, make you a bunch of money, and make a lot of happy people. That's the good news. Here's the bad news. Not everyone's going to get this $4.99 special pricing. And definitely not everyone's going to get these exclusive bonuses. They are reserved only for fast action takers, the people like the Jay Boyers, like the Mandy Kendalls, like the Costas Peppas that you saw here earlier. These are the types of people who I like to reward with our special Product eClass discount, a discount that you will not see anywhere else. It's a discount for you because you've shown up here today, you've watched this webinar, you've paid attention, you acted when the opportunity presented itself, and I discovered if I'm going to bet on anybody, that's the type of people that I bet on because those are the types of people that are going to succeed. Get signed up right now. You get all of the following already available to you. Whether you want to spread it out over installments or take care of it all at once, it doesn't matter to me. I just want you in. And I want you in ASAP. Now, here's the cool thing. When you invest, know this. Your investment is protected twice. Here's what I mean. First of all, we have the standard any reason or no reason at all. If you want your money back in the first 30 days, you got it. No questions asked. Don't even give me a reason. I only want you as a customer if you want to be my customer. That's how I play this game, right? So no questions asked, no conditions. Try it out. If you like it, keep it. If you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. And we're very responsive and we're very quick, as you'll see here shortly when I talk to you about support, right? So that's a guarantee. I'm sure you've seen guarantees like that before. But I am so confident in the power of Product eClass and what it can do for you that I'm going to go the extra mile for you. And I'm going to offer you the double your money back guarantee. And here's how this one goes. I share with you every product creation secret that I have. All you have to do is follow one of them. And you get 60 days to implement it. And in those 60 days, if you follow just one of these methods and you don't double your investment, then I will give you double your investment back. So no matter what, if you're serious about your future in this business, you will profit from Product eClass. Because if you don't profit on your own, I will make you profitable because I will pay you. And you say, Jason, how can you do that? I know the numbers. I know for the amount of people where this fails is so minuscule versus the amount of people where this succeeds for is so absolutely overwhelmingly positive that if I got to pay for a small number of people who happen to be the most unluckiest SOBs in the world, I will. because that will make me also have more success stories. So hopefully that makes sense to you, but it doesn't have to make sense to you. Here's the deal. Challenge me on this one. I've had more than one customer say, Jason, I just signed up for Product eClass simply so I could take advantage of you and your double your money back guarantee. They say, I literally didn't think I would succeed. I just did this so I can make money off you. And I say, great, how did it play out for you? And almost to the person, they say, oh yeah, I didn't need your guarantee because I made more than twice my money back. In fact, I made even more than that. So please try to take advantage of me. I want to do that for you because what I discovered about this business is if I remove every possibility for you to fail, then what is left? Only success. And we got your back. We are here for you. We have around-the-clock support. 3 a.m. on a Friday, 3 p.m. on a Sunday, 24/7, 365. That's how we measure our support metrics. And within those metrics, we average a 57-minute response per ticket last time that I checked. We are the most responsive in the industry and pretty much almost any industry online when it comes to what we do in taking care of our customers. And we are so proud of our support. You can find it on every webpage that we put out there. It's in the members area for Product eClass. You can email us at support@rapidcrush.com, or you can go to support.rapidcrush.com on the web. Either way, we are here for you. So if you need your money back, you contact us. If you need help logging in somewhere, we help you log in. We are here for you because the more you succeed, the more we succeed. And you say, Jason, why do you keep saying that? I will tell you this. Most of you are going to be successful and you'll never contact me again. I won't know about it. And I don't necessarily need to know about it. I'm just happy that I'm out there making a positive impact. But some of you will be successful in a way where you'll come to me and say, Jason, here's what I did. Do you have any interest in partnering with me? And if it makes sense, I will. In fact, a lot of the big breakthroughs I've had in this business have been with partnering with Product eClass clients like Maria from earlier, because once they can play the game and speak the same language I speak, we put 1 and 1 together and we don't get 2, we get 11. That's exponential improvements. So call this me creating my future business partners, my future affiliates, my future joint venture partners. This is why we do the double your money back guarantee. This is why we go the extra mile for you. This is why we put this out here for you, because on a very pragmatic level, your success is my success in a dollars and cents kind of way. Now remember, the future is digital products. See, here's the deal. Whether you like it or not, the world is changing. And you can either adapt or you can perish. You can either change with it or you can get left behind. And now you have the chance to earn money. Now you have the chance to create that purpose, that legacy. Now you have the chance to make a difference in your own life as well as in the lives of others. Okay? This is the next level right here. The information business is the next level. And here's the best way to get to the next level, is to have someone reach down who is standing at that level and pull you up. And that's what I'm offering here for you today. That's what we have for you. Because if you're going to do it, why not do it with the best? And Rapid Crush is my company. I wear it on my shirt. And we are the best when it comes to this business. We hold all the records using information product marketing techniques and creation techniques. And I would love it for you to join us. To prove my point, since I showed you, let me put this back on, this slide about 15 minutes in on the presentation, now we are an hour and a half in, and $17 million plus in counting has been purchased in information products online in just the last 70, 80, 90-ish minutes, whatever the case is. That, some of that should be your money, and I want to help you get it. David says right here, he says, I have to say that Product eClass is one of the best online classes I've ever been a part of, and I've been involved in plenty of classes. And then he goes on to document his successes, and he catches the product creation bug, and he starts creating more products in a week than most people ever create in like a year, all right? That's the power of what we have for you. Not investing in Product eClass costs more, because spending 10 to 20 times longer than you should, that's what's expensive. Making big mistakes that could have easily been avoided with some guidance, that's expensive. And making excuses instead of investing in the resources, that truly is a cost. But Product eClass is not expensive. It's an investment in yourself protected by 2 guarantees. And just to help you understand the value even further, The top online marketers in the world pay me $25,000 for a single day of consulting. And you're going to get 16 plus hours of my best secret for the lowest global price that we've ever put on ever for Product eClass 2020. Now, I am officially at the end of the presentation, but I'm not at the end of my willingness to help you understand if this makes sense for you to say yes to and move forward with it. And listen, I'll take a yes from you, I'll take a no from you, but what I do not have a taste for is the maybes, because that's where more fortunes are lost. In the, well, maybe I'll do it, maybe I'll not. It's time to not dawdle anymore, okay? We are here for you. Let's talk about it and let's discuss. Does this make sense for you or not? And I know, Wilson, you're here, and I'm sure you've been watching all the chat, and I bet you there's a couple questions already brimming up from many people that maybe we can answer.
I am here, Jason, and I honestly have not seen ever before the type of, the amount, this type I have, but the amount of positive feedback and the amount of excitement that you've generated from this webinar, even from folks that are members of our affiliate triad program, just incredible, right? So some questions here. I'm going to throw some easy ones your way because I know you've been going for a little while and you want to take a little breather.
Take a little pity on me,
I'm
huh?
going to toss you some layups here, okay?
All right, we'll get a warm-up going before we get to the hard one.
Get a warm-up going. Does this work internationally?
Yes, wonderfully so, right? And by international, I assume you mean just anywhere in the world, because I can answer that question three ways. So Kieran McDonogh, he was a New Zealander, right? And we've had people from all over the world do well with this. We've had people do well in other languages too. And here's one of the reasons why product selling information products online has massively exploded. Because when we wanted to sell internationally in 2010 and 2011, it was almost impossible because all the software programs were in English, all the emails, even what they sent you, the receipt, there was no adaptability or flexibility. What to speak of targeting? We've had experience in international markets where we advertise and it costs us like 5 times as less and we get 4 times the response rates. So not only does this work internationally, this is one of the greatest untapped markets currently that exist, is the international opportunity of information products, because the American market for information products is about 5 to 10 years ahead of the rest of the world. So the coolest way to time travel is to pick what's working and then port it over to a market that has never seen it before. And now all of a sudden you come in your car into a world that's horse and buggy and you clean up. It's better to be first than it is to be better. And right now, the international market is one of the greatest untapped markets to do this information product business.
Yeah. So I love the fact that you answered that in multiple ways because the question was very specific to one way. But yes, it doesn't matter whether you are outside the US and you want to sell it in the US, any English-speaking country, any non-English speaking country, right? If you speak that language, it doesn't matter if you want to sell products in any language of this planet, as long as you are able to create the product in that language or even have it translated. By the way, that's something Jason mentioned. We sold a product in Brazil, and while I speak Portuguese, Jason does not, and Jason did the delivery of the product. Yep. It was closed captioned and translated, so even that is possible. And that is actually the market he was talking about when he said that we got traffic 4 times cheaper and converted 5 times better. I mean, we were literally getting 4 to sometimes 12x return on ad spend on a front end $25 product.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just incredible. So
you won't ever see that anywhere else, right? But international markets, they offer such opportunities. To me, though, it's a tactic that we teach in Product eClass is by narrowly focusing your market on something very specific, you're fishing in a pond where nobody else is fishing in. So that is one illustrative way of doing that. But there are other ways you could do the same thing that have nothing to do with demographics, geographics, or anything like that. But it's such a cool opportunity. And there's more of those opportunities that exist right now than there ever has been on the internet.
Yeah. So, Jason, here's a good question. What other costs am I going to have to make this work?
Right. Great question. So back in 2007, when I started this, I had no budget whatsoever because I slept on the floor. That's legit, straight up. That's how I published my first information product, right? So I really buckled down and bought a domain name. That was a very expensive for me. It was like $9, but you can buy like a .info domain name or whatever. You can find $2 or $3 domain names. You don't even have to buy a domain name, right? I had some cheap $4 a month hosting program, although these days a lot of that stuff can be hosted for you. You could serve your product up on Udemy or Udemy or however you say it, or Kindle, and they will mostly charge you out of the sale and nothing up front, right? I had to download and use things like Open Office, which is now like Libra or something, because I couldn't afford Microsoft Word or any paid word processing document that would save to a PDF. But these days, things like Google Docs, almost everything is free. Anything that you would have to pay for in this business, you're only wanting to pay for because you want it and you like it and you can afford it. That would be one of the only reasons that you might pay for something extra, or the other reason is because it's essential, which means that you would have to pay for it anyway, regardless of whether or not you were doing this model. It's kind of like you don't buy a house and negotiate to not pay for the gas and the water and the electricity, right? You don't say, oh, that's a deal breaker for me. I'm going to buy this house, but I'm not going to do it unless you throw in the electricity for free, right? Those are separate costs, but they're always there regardless of what type of house you want to live in. And that same is true for information product business or any other business. There might be things, but if you said to me, Jason, all I have is the money to invest in product eClass and I don't have $1 more, awesome. You could be successful. You do not need fancy tools. I am going to stress yet again, everything you need to create an information product can be done for free. So if you want to use Google Slides to create a slide deck, that's free. If you want to use Google Docs, that's free. There are screen capture software out there, that's free. Audacity is a free audio program that you can use. If you want to do mind maps, which we teach, that's free. You can use freemind.com or freemind, whatever it is, just Google Freemind mind mapping software, right? I do not want you to use fancy graphics. I don't want you to use special templates. I want you to use the process I teach you, which is far more valuable than any gift wrap packaging that you might put around what's in the box. Just put something cool in the box and you're good to go. But yeah, costs are minimal. They're non-existent. Here's what's great about this. Costs have went down over the years. So a lot of the things that we used to have to pay for are now free.
Jason, this is a lovely one because I just love your answer to this question. What if I've never done this before? I have no knowledge of how to create a product. I have no technical skills whatsoever. Can I do this?
Yes. So people tend to think it's a disadvantage to not have experience. I would argue it is as much an advantage, maybe even more of an advantage than a disadvantage. Because a lot of the old, jaded, salty dogs, you can't teach them any new tricks, right? They would rather be broke and pretend they know what they're doing than to be open to a process. And so when you're new, you will lack experience, but you can make up for that because you're like a blank canvas in which we can paint any picture on it that we want to. And I would never allow any of my customers, if they were my friends, I wouldn't allow them to settle for, well, I don't have any experience, so I'm not going to do this. Every single successful person that sold an information product started exactly where you are, with no experience, no customers, nothing but desire. And that's all I need from you. I need the desire. I need some focus, not crazy amounts, but a little bit, and ambition. If you have those three things, the rest of this is very teachable. And by the way, congratulations to you. Because you can learn this from a lot of people, but I don't believe you will find anybody who can teach it to you as quickly and as simply as the way that I teach it. Because here's the beautiful thing about this business. I've been doing this longer than most people even knew about the internet and selling products online. So a lot of these gurus today who teach you how to create information products, they learn from a student who learned from me. And so they don't even know that I'm ahead of the field because I'm so far ahead of the field, right? I'm on mile 25 of the marathon and they're at the starting line and they think they're in first place. And so the beautiful thing about this is I have just done this more than anybody else. And if you knew me like Wilson knows me, I have a distaste for any inefficiencies. And so if I can find a way to shave 1 second off of something, I'm game for it, right? And then if I do that a couple 100,000 iterations, this is what you get with Product eClass. This is why I am so excited to offer it at such an incredible rate, because I do know that there is no other more cost-effective way to learn this business than to invest. Anything that you do other than this will be more expensive in terms of time and money for you. So is experience required? Nope. Did I sit down and create this assuming that you knew this business? Not in the least. I literally start with, could I pull you off the streets and make you a complete stranger, sit you down with this plan and say, go, and could you be successful? That's my litmus test. And so this course is a stranger off the streets, certified, approved. You do not need experience. Now, those of you who have experience, great. Check it at the door because you don't need it. Re-experience with my process and then come back and bring in what was useful that you've learned in the past. But leave the rest of that baggage behind, because whatever was yesterday was yesterday. Now we're today, and this is what we're going to do to capitalize on tomorrow. producteclass.com/special.
And there I was muted again. So the entire course is available to you right away.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Will, because my slides did not adequately reflect. They did not reflect that. Okay, because I said you need me in your ear for the next 6 weeks because we used to drip feed this stuff. Okay, I would recommend that you take these 1 week at a time, because that's a big meal to digest all at once if you try to take in Product eClass all at once. But first time ever, we're allowing you to get access to everything in the core offering of Product eClass, all 7 sessions simultaneously. And there's a very specific reason that we're doing that. And it has to do with the circumstances that we're currently finding ourselves in the world that we live in. And so that has opened up the opportunity right now where success in this business is actually accelerated, and it's at its greatest condition that you'll ever find it in. And so we wanted to make sure, because of this kind of unique situation we find ourselves in right now, that we knew that we could break the normal rules and give you everything all at once and you could be successful with it. So yes, you will get access to the whole course as soon as you sign up, so you can evaluate everything and decide what you want to do with it. Now the bonuses, that's a different story. Some of these bonuses I am not going to release to you until I know you're fully in and you are in Product eClass to win it. Then those bonuses get unlocked. So they will go past the 30-day point for some of those. Other bonuses are unlocked strategically based around certain milestones of what I want you to do first before those bonuses are unlocked. Also, I just don't want to overwhelm you, right? I want to figure out, and I've done this so long, to know the sequence of where I should put these other things as well.
Yeah. So again, all the core modules, session 0 through 6, so 7 modules total, are available to you right away when you register today. The bonuses, some of them are already available, and some of them will be dripped over time, strategically, as Jason said, when you need them. I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you do what Jason said. Even though the modules are already all available to you, I do not suggest that you watch one after the other. You will be way better served, way, 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 way better served if you watch session 0 and then try to implement some of that stuff, right? At least get your mind and in a place where you're thinking about implementation, and then do some of those exercises he's going to talk about. Yep. And then later go into session 2. The optimal way to consume this content truly is 1 module per week.
Absolutely.
And it is why we have always in the past delivered 1 module every week. And customers in the past have complained. I've had plenty of complaints. I want it all right away because I'm a fast learner. And I want to, I don't care if you're a fast learner. The question is, are you a fast implementer, right? So you want to learn and implement, not learn, because learning does not make you any money. implementing does, taking action does. So you will have access to this course for a long time to come, for as long as you want, right? For as long as it's relevant and the internet works and all that stuff. If so, you don't have to rush through it. It is critical that you implement. We want you to make money. We know with certainty. We know with so much certainty that we put our money at risk for you. You're not risking any money. You have a refund guarantee for 30 days, so there's no risk to you at all. You have a double your money back guarantee, so that not only do you not have risk, you have guaranteed profits as long as you do the work. And watching videos is not doing the work. Watching videos is the prerequisite for you to doing the work, right?
Yep.
We know with certainty that you can be profitable with this. Otherwise, we would not put our money at risk by offering to double your investment back to you, right? But it will require that you do the work.
Yep.
And to do the work requires that you actually take action, right? And it's super simple, by the way. There are no crazy clauses in this guarantee. Jason, I'd like to actually go over that, because that's a question too. So if you bring up that page again, let's go to that guarantee section. And there are like 5 things they got to do, and none of them are brain science, right? Oh, right there. Follow any of the methods in the course to create a new high quality information product in any format you choose. So it can be audio, it can be video, it can be PDFs, it can be any other, it could be software, it could be whatever you choose. We don't care. Just create a following one of the many methods you're going to learn. Make the product purchasable and deliverable. You can't make money unless somebody can buy it, right?
Yep.
So put it up for sale, right? Put it up for sale. You're going to even have our sales page templates to put it up for sale. So even that's done for you, but you got to use the template, right? We give it to you. It's like it's almost like we're giving you a check. The check you can't spend the check. You got to first deposit it. Come on, you got to go to the bank.
Yep.
So it's like we're giving you a check, but you have to go to the bank. That's your job, right? So your job is to put it up for sale. Use the template we give you and put it up for sale, right? You got to make at least one sale. It could be you. It could be even your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your best friend. I don't care. You got to make one sale. And the reason we want you to make one sale is because we got to make sure it worked. You put it up for sale. Does your sales page work, right? You're going to sell it via PayPal. Does your PayPal account work? Whatever. So one sell. We're not asking for a huge hurdle here, right?
Yep.
And then you have to attempt to drive traffic as shown in the course. It can be free or paid. We don't care, because Jason talks about many methods. But every day for 2 weeks, you got to try something, right? And that something could be so simple. It could take you 10 seconds, but you got to show us that you tried something every day for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Right?
You just got to write it down and say, this is what I did to drive traffic today.
And then you got to document. Start a Google Doc today. After you sign up, start a Google Doc. Say, my journal, right? And then write down every day what you did towards it, right? Towards getting that product up. That's all that we ask. You got to document the process for how you created the product. And you got to do it every day. You can't come back on the 60th day and write it all out, right? You got to do it every day. We know in the Google Doc when you wrote stuff, and we're going to verify it. But that's it.
Yep.
That's it. Now, does it take 60 days to do this? No. There are some very fast enterprising individuals that will literally go through session 0 today, right after they sign up. They are going to set time aside this weekend to create their product, and it'll be up for sale on Monday. I guarantee there will be people that will do this. Will everybody do this? No. Does everybody need to do this? No, right? But there will be people in this training who will do just that, and they will start taking sales on Monday or sooner, by the way.
Yep. I've seen it many times.
Or sooner. Yeah, many, many times. So we're not asking a lot of you. We're asking that you just follow the steps. It's almost like paint by the numbers here, right?
Yep.
It's like I'm giving you a check, but you got to go to the bank and cash it. Going to the bank is actually following the program, right? So let's see. Lots of Jason, can I ask you to talk about $100 questions and 10-cent questions.
Yeah, the 5-cent questions
The
versus
5-cent
questions.
questions.
Right?
Yeah, it's inflation. It's 10 cents now.
By the way, product eClass has not suffered from inflation because it's at a better deal today than it was when I first offered it in 2009. So that's interesting. Only better because it's a special price for you because you've been through this webinar here and it's very limited. It will not be repeated again, right? So now the difference between nickel and dime questions and the $100 questions is, I'll give you an example. Like a nickel and dime question would be, what font should I use when I write my ebook? That's a very minor question. It doesn't matter. I mean, obviously you don't want to make it pink Comic Sans if you can avoid it, but I'm telling you, anybody can figure that question out. So it's a question that the answer to it has no real effect on your success or failure. So that's a nickel or dime type of question. A $100 question is, hey, Jason, if I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z, do you think that I could be successful in product eClass? That would be more of a $100 question. Or a $100 question could be, hey, Jason, I'm already working 60 hours a week at a day job, and I don't have any time, and I'm totally overwhelmed as it is. Is it irresponsible for me to think that I can take this on? That's a $100 question. Another $100 question could be, hey, Jason, I just bought somebody else's product that's a completely separate system doing a completely separate thing online. And I don't know if I should also buy your thing because then it feels like I'm taking two different models and trying to do both at once. Is that even a good idea, a bad idea? What should I do? That's a $100 question. So the difference is hopefully obvious to you now, but if not, we'll definitely work through them together. Is a lot of little minor questions. The answer to them is it doesn't matter. So if you feel like the answer to your question is it probably doesn't matter, it's a nickel or dime question. But if it's a big question in terms of what could make or break something for you, those are the questions that we can be of most use to you in terms of answering that, right?
Well, maybe another filter would be if somebody were to hand me a check, whether I had this question answered or not, right? Would it be okay to take that check? Right?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's a good point too, Will, because a lot of people, this goes back to the concept we talked about earlier, is a lot of people will not give themselves permission to succeed. And so therefore, they won't ask the questions that will facilitate success. They'll answer the questions that will allow them to stay at whatever level they're at. And by the way, failure is an event, not a person. Success is an event, not a person. You are independent of your successes or failures. I want to be very clear about that. And here's why that's important. Because when I get on a training like this, I know within you is infinite potential of greatness. I know what you're capable of. So whatever you've done in the past, you might want to judge yourself on that, but I certainly don't. Because I've seen success come from the most unlikeliest places more often than not. So I know it doesn't matter what you've done or what you used to do. That's yesterday, right? So, but a lot of people like to dwell in the things that allow them to stay at the level they're at. And the reason for that psychologically is because it is scary. Let's be straight with each other here. It is scary to do something different than what you're used to doing. This is why people die broke, because the discomfort of doing something other than what they're used to imprisons them financially for the rest of their lives, right? But I empathize with doing things you're not used to doing because they are scary. It is scary. I'm not going to pretend it's not, because it certainly is. And so sometimes when you're scared, you want to focus on the minor things because those are good distractions, or those tie you up to not think too much about, well, what if I just did it? What if I just accepted the opportunity, right? What if I said, okay, I'm going to go for it? But sometimes that's scary to us so much that we ask these little small questions and they get in the way. And I heard it best said by Jim Rohn. He says, many people let minor things cheat them out of major opportunities. And that's what I think of when I see some of these questions. I will answer every question if I had the time, but we have to prioritize. And so certain questions, I give you an answer to them, and here's what happens. You say, cool, now answer this question, Jason. Now answer that question. Now answer that question. I'm not in the question answering business, right? I'm in the helping you make money business. And so if I feel like the question isn't going to be helpful to you to make money, I'm going to ignore it, or I'm going to change the question you're asking me into one where I can answer it in a way that's going to be the most value for you to help you decide to move forward. By the way, move forward doesn't always mean signing up. It just means not being stuck, because the thing that will cause more catastrophe in your life is being stuck. You know what sitting on a fence is? It's stuck. All right? You know what maybe is? It's stuck. I just want you to move forward. Hopefully that's with me if it makes sense, but if not, moving forward is always good for you because that's how you grow.
Awesome. So Jason, here's one of those types of questions that make no difference, right?
No, but let's do it because it's illustrative, right?
But yeah, it's illustrative, right? Hey, when I create my product, what title do I give it? Will somebody critique it for me? Will I be able to send it somewhere?
Yeah, so on one hand, that is a somewhat of an important question, right? Because if you titled it Steal This Product, right, that might not work well for you. Although there are products out there that say it's like steal this book or burn this book after reading, and they do well, right? So here's the good news. The real question you should be asking is, Jason, I want to make sure I succeed in this business, so will it be helpful? Will you teach me the types of products that I should title in order to meet with success as much as possible, right? And the answer to that is yes. I will give you guidelines. Will you follow them perfectly? No, of course not, right? I screw up just as much as anybody does. But if we rough in a good enough title, we're awesome. Because I will tell you, most people don't understand the principles that I taught you today for free. And I will reteach you, because success is caught more than it's taught. You will catch success from Product eClass, because I will give you so many opportunities and so many insights and so many different lenses and perspectives in which to view whatever you're focusing on. But the idea here is, and I hear a winner in that question, Will, because he didn't say if I create a product, right? Or she, I don't know if it's a he or she, right? He said when I create that product, right? Now, two things.
Exactly.
I will critique your title for you. Once you make $10,000, you get on a consultation with me, and if it makes sense and I see that the biggest leverage point for you to level up that product is to change its title or reposition it, right? Cool. We'll do that, right? But let me give you some stupid titles that I created when I first started in this business that made me a lot of money. I had a product called the Copywriting Success Shortcut System, or something as mouthful and as unappealing as that, right? The Copywriter Success Shortcut System, I don't even know. It was stupid. Later, I changed it to 3-hour ad. So how to write a good enough advertisement in 3 hours or less. This is back in 2008, right? Killer product. And then I changed the name and it sold even more. And we had other really bad product titles. I can't even, I had a product on how to create membership sites called Member Whiz, like wizard. But most people made fun of it like whiz, like going to the bathroom, taking a tinkle, right? Still sold over $12,000 of that on the first week that I had it available. And God, I just, we usually come up with good titles, but sometimes we come up with monumentally stupid titles, and they don't make any sense. But we still are usually okay because we get enough of the principles of enough things right that it's good, and then the marketplace tell us how to make more money. So I'll give you another example, right? When I sold my first product at $4, it was laughably too cheap. And when I realized that, I fixed it. It took all of 2 seconds to change the price point, and that was it. It was done. I want you all to be wrong. I want you all to screw up and underprice your products. I want you to all screw up and leave money on the table. Because here's the deal. You can come back to the table. You can always come back to the table. Here's what's going to happen. At first, you're going to take some money off the table, and then you're going to realize you can just pick up the freaking table and take it with you, all right? But sometimes you got to take money off the table before you realize when you go back to the table, let me just take the table with me. I don't really care at the short term. Long term, you're going to be good. Short term, you might have to make a couple course corrections. So on one instance, it's important that you create a title that reflects the product in the system. But it's less important whether that title is like poetically appealing or not. For most of you, here's the formula. I'll give you a little taste of what we teach in Product eClass. Create a product that says how to do blank without blank. let me get more specific with you, because this is actually how I teach it. And I don't leave anything to chance. Everything's documented. Everything's structurally sound. It's not me off the top of my head like I am now. It's how to achieve a certain specific result in a narrow time frame without a typical constraint. That is the formula. If you do nothing but that and create information products around that, you're going to win. That's what I did for the first year and a half that I was in this business. I was a one-trick pony. I just repeated it over and over again. Because the first product I ever created was how to write an article in 7 minutes or less, including proofreading and research, which is that concept of that's the powerful misconstraint. Now, I didn't know that back then, so I didn't frame it perfectly the way I could have nowadays, right? Because I would have framed it now, how to write an article in 7 minutes or less, even if you know nothing on the topic. That's a really better one. But how to do something very specific in a short period of time without a constraint that they're used to. If you follow that process, you will be super duper successful, because it encapsulates within it all the principles that I teach. Instant gratification is the most compelling sales argument you'll ever make, the best type of product to create, right? And then dealing with present pain as well as future benefit, also important. And how to in this business, those are like the secret words. People just say how to. They want to know how to do something. And so you enter the conversation that they have in their mind. So just follow the formula. Here's why it's important to me that most of you sign up for Product eClass. Because not investing is going to cost you more. Because you can either take a tried and true formula and fill in the blanks and have it work for you independent of whether you understand it or not, right? And understanding will come through experience more often than not. Or you can go out on your own and guess. And yeah, I guess initially it's cheaper to guess, but long term it's probably going to be more expensive, especially because we have a money back guarantee. So use the formula and then let it prove itself out and validate itself. And that's all I'm asking.
So Jason, I'm going to start throwing you some curveballs.
Okay, good.
We've got your layups are done. Your warm up is ready. You're ready to go now. You're on fire.
Thank you.
We have to help Ian, because Ian has a mindset issue here, and as we know, many people on this call do, but he's expressed it so eloquently that I'm going to read it verbatim. When I go through the steps and don't succeed with the information available, there's a system in Product eClass to help me push through this issue. So when I go through the steps and don't succeed with this information, with the information available.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I understand it, but I hear it from two different perspectives. Let me answer that question two ways, right? First way, Ian, when you don't succeed, if you don't succeed. Let's just assume that you will fail no matter what, right? Then make an adjustment. And if you don't succeed the second time, then get double your money back because you qualify for our guarantee, right? So you've just made money. I guarantee you'll learn something. See, what's weird about this business is oftentimes what you learn doesn't come back in the form of dollars and cents until months or years later, right? So here's what's cool about Product eClass. Any future lessons that are applied and translated into dollars, you still have that, but I'm also paying you real cash. So that's true if you are determined to fail. So if you are still determined to fail when you move forward, Ian, great. I'll take it. I'll take anybody here that's determined to fail, because not only will the double your money back guarantee protect you, but you'll also glean value of it. And hey, you always get a second chance. So when you talk about throwing curveballs, Will, imagine if we changed the rules of baseball. And now I had to swing and miss 176 times before I struck out, right? I'm going to get a hit. And that's the rules that we play by in Product eClass. You try it, you adjust it, you try it again, and good, bad, or ugly, you're going to be better off than you were without Product eClass. Now, let me answer it the second way, right? And Will is absolutely right when he says the idea of a mindset issue. Because let's take the word mindset and let's separate it by a space. Mindset. What is your mind set on? Is it set on failing? Is it set on being successful? If I had my way and there was a switch that I could reach in through your ear into your brain and turn on and flip it, I would flip it from failure to success. And I try that. I try that with the training here today. We try that with the resources we make available, the bonuses, and on and on and on, right? That's what we really do. But I don't have the actual technology to flip a switch. You have to decide to flip that switch on. Now, it is my hope, it is my wish, not just as a business person, but as your friend, to flip it off of scarcity and into abundance. Because what I've discovered is the failure is another word for scarcity, and success is another word for abundance. And I have seen nothing good come out of scarcity. I've only seen good things come out of abundance. And so I want to have you step into this in a state of abundance. And that is, hey, listen, I'm going to try this. And if it doesn't immediately hit, I'm going to make an adjustment based on all the resources I have. And then it will be successful. All right. But here is me living my own message because I am so abundant. I am underwriting your success. I am taking a responsibility towards your success with the double your money back guarantee. Because even your scarcity to me is good enough of a starting point. Even the most jaded and cynical and resistant among you, I don't want to leave behind. See, I'm not a fan of the way a lot of these guys run their internet marketing business because they say, oh, these people with limited mindsets and all these people that are scarcity based, I don't want to be around them. They even call them poisonous and toxic. And that's disgusting to me. That upsets me, right? I say, you know what? They're lost my game. Because if I can help the jaded people, if I can help the ones everybody else is willing to give up on and not hang in there for, then the world can be my oyster. And that's the attitude that we take into it. That's why I don't really, at the end of the day, I've designed a system, hopefully, that whether you're jaded and cynical or whether you're prosperity-minded and abundant, you can still take product eClass. This isn't an either-or situation. Give me everybody who's willing to at least give it their best. That's all I ask for. I don't ask for anything other than that. Just step into it. Now, having an open mind, would that help? Yeah, that would help, right? But it's not required. And that, I feel, is the difference between product eClass and a lot of other opportunities that are out there. So two big differences. One is that and how we design it with that in mind. The other big difference is the product information publishing business. Let me reiterate this again, my friends, right? It is right now the single greatest, statistically backed, data proven, hottest opportunity online. But for whatever reason, as crazy as it is, people are oblivious to it and unaware of it. It is weird. It is hard to even believe that simultaneously the greatest thing online right now, people are turning away from and are ignoring. But that's what's going on right now, okay? I mean, since 15 minutes into this webinar, we are now up to $28 million bought online. And I don't know why this is the case. I can only theorize. And one of my theories is Starbucks. You say, Jason, what do you mean Starbucks, right? Did you know there are over 170,000 different ways that you can order a beverage at Starbucks, right? You know, McDonald's, one of their most successful advertising campaigns was have it your way. The biggest e-commerce store online is Amazon, and Amazon gives you everything that you could ever hope to. And if it comes in pink polka dots, Amazon will sell that too, the A to Z store, right? For good or bad, better or worse, whatever, people these days expect to have it their way. They expect to have it made to order. They don't expect anything other than exactly what they want, and they want it on demand. And you could say, well, that's not right. You could argue against it. Or you can just profit from it. Set aside whatever personal feelings you have to that and realize if people feel like they can have it their way, if they feel entitled to have it exactly the way that they want it, you can serve them and profit, or you can be upset and not profit. And so I believe, in part, it's one of many reasons why, because it's never just one reason why, it's one of many reasons why the information business is exploding right now. The other reason I would guess is, I saw this meme the other day. They're like online subscription per year. So it costs like, $90 for Netflix. It costs like $80 for Disney Plus, and it costs $50,000 for Harvard, right? That's your online streaming subscription because Harvard schools, post-COVID-19 lockdown, they said, we're going to do our classes online, right? So traditional education is overcharging and undergiving. So when people don't have options through the normal ways and avenues of learning things, what do? They go to the abnormal. They go to the fringe. They go to the alternative, right? And that's what we're seeing right now. People are taking their education in their own hands. Here's another third reason, and it's not the only reason, and there's many, many more. But when I first got into the information business, I went down to the Iowa City Public Library. I had a 1989 Toyota Celica hatchback. It's about 2003 right now. I paid $200 for this car. I had 200,000 miles on it, right? And it didn't have a CD player in it. It had a tape player in it. And lo and behold, at the library, they had a whole section of books on tape. And I would study business on those books on tapes, and I would study sales and all this other stuff. And they would have these, I'm sure you've seen them, right? They're like these big cases that you open up, and they have like 12 tapes because you could only fit like an hour or 2 or 3 out of tape, right? Like I don't even remember. And I would drive around in my little putt-putt Celica, and I would feed tapes into the tape player and listen to stuff. And when my family members saw me doing that, they laughed at me. And when my friends saw me do that, they made fun of me, right? And these are the same people these days that have a podcast addiction. So it used to be totally dorky, nerdy, used to get made fun of. Only the weird, freaky types listened and learned on their own. But nowadays it's commonplace. So the market is caught up. But people are forgetting this or not aware of this or not seeing this. And so the market has exploded in terms of the appetite to purchase and pay for things, right? Whereas people are saying, well, this isn't cool. I instead want to do this fancy new TikTok video marketing strategy or what have you, right? Or they say something silly like, hey, all this information is free. Why would anybody pay for it, right? Well, it's like, what do you think the drug dealer does when you first come out? They give you the first hit for free to get you hooked to it, right? A better way of thinking about it is when somebody experiences something positive, they want more of that. So whether it's free or paid, free information actually increases the appetite for buying information. And so all of these factors, and there are about 150 more I could list out for you, have created this perfect opportunity situation. And any black swan event, any economic collapse, any medical issue that may break out, that actually accelerates the information business even further. Because people realize that there is this facade that exists. There is this great matrix-styled misconception in the world that other people are going to take care of you, that the government's going to take care of you, and that that it's set up so the society is going to help you. But at the end of the day, that is a myth. The only way you can be really comfortable and confident and secure in this world is if you take care of yourself. And it's great when these other things are there, and sometimes it can be a sense of false security of, oh, well, the stock market's going to take care of me and my retirement plan and my 401k and my IRA, right? And then you will learn one day that that's not exactly true. It's a nice idea, but the only true way that you can control your future is to take responsibility for it. And when these hardcore events happen, that's when people say, okay, I got to do something. And then they turn to information, and then they buy information. And that's the beauty of this business. And most of the information they buy, it sucks. So when they find information structured in the way that I teach you to structure it, they say, oh my God, what else do you have for me to buy? And this is how we build a business. I don't even remember the original question, Will. Was it Ian's mindset?
That's great. You answered. So
has Ian's mind stood up now and quit sitting down? And has it taken a walk and a journey?
I think so, because Ian has asked another question as far as, does it work with blank?
Okay, so let me address that. Ian, if I were to satisfactorily answer this question to your liking, then would you sign up for Product eClass?
We're waiting for you, Ian. While we wait for Ian,
yes,
I'm going to ask you the next. I'm gonna make a suggestion here. You mentioned earlier that we're okay with a yes, people that decide to sign up. We're okay with a no. This is not for me and I'm not going to sign up. We are absolutely not okay. It is completely unacceptable to be a maybe, I'm not sure, or whatever is not either a yes or a no, right? Completely unacceptable. So let me give you some advice, and then Jason, you can follow up. If you're a maybe, it's because you have some doubt of some kind, whether it's about you, about the product, about something, because otherwise it'd be a yes or a no. You're uncertain. We can stay here and answer questions for the next 12 hours, which, by the way, we've done in the past, but we're not going to do today. And it's probably still going to be a maybe, because if you're asking questions about how does this work, or how does that work, or how do I put it up for sale, or how do I find the traffic, or how do I find the audience, or how do I create a title, or how many pages should it be, or how many, can I use this format or that format, or does this matter, or what microphone do you, any of those types of questions, right? You will, if we answer them, you will have a million more of them, and you will still be a maybe, which we can't allow you to be. We cannot allow you to be a maybe, right? We need to get you to either a yes or a no, and either is fine. The best way I can get you to a yes or a no and satisfy every bit of intellectual curiosity you have, every single doubt that you could possibly have, is to have you sign up today and allow yourself 30 full days to make the decision. 30 full days, because then you will actually go through the course. You don't have to ask me, does the course cover this, or does it cover that, or does it work this way or that way? Because I can tell you, but it's better if you see it yourself, because I'm going to answer. There's something interesting about when you ask a question, the response you get is very dependent upon the person who's answering, their perspective. So I may tell you something that may be totally true and correct, but it doesn't quite jive for you. However, if you experience it yourself, you will know without a doubt, for yourself, for your circumstances, for your learning style, for your abilities, for your background, for your experience, for your desires, for your goals, for you name it. You will know without a doubt when you experience it, right? It's like the silliest question that I ever hear asked in a restaurant is somebody asking the waiter, is this dish good? Like, right? Would you recommend I try this dish? Like, how is the waiter going to know what you like and don't like? What your taste buds are going to know? The only way you could know for sure is to try it. So what we're giving you is the equivalent of this. When you sign up for Product eClass, it's the equivalent of you going to a restaurant and having a taster of every single dish you could possibly have on the menu to decide whether you like it or not. So if you're wondering hey, is this grilled fish good? You don't have to ask the waiter, is it good? You tell the waiter, hey, I'm going to try that to see if I like it. Then I'll order if I like it, right? Yep. Wouldn't it be amazing wouldn't you have the most perfect meals every time if you could try it before you ordered it, right? And this is what you can do here with Product eClass. You sign up today, you experience it and take action on it for a full 30 days. And if for any reason it didn't satisfy that requirement, your taste buds didn't quite agree with it, just ask for your money back. Yeah. We're so confident that that's not going to be the case that we're even putting up a double your money back guarantee. So if you want questions answered about does this work, does that work, how does it work, how do I do this, how do I do that, any of those types of questions, just sign up today. Yep. And your answers will come to you from your own personal experience of it. And regardless of what happens, you will learn something guaranteed, even if you don't like it. Even if you watched all 7 sessions, 0 through 6, all 7 sessions, and you hate 6 of them so much with a passion that you are going to send us a nastygram because they were the biggest, awful thing you've ever experienced in your life, I still guarantee that for free, you're going to learn something that will be useful to you in your life.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And on our dime, because then we'll give you your money back. So, if you want to know the truth. Now, here's what's going to happen, though, if you stay on the fence, if you stay on the maybe. I'm going to ask you about staying on the fence, Jason, because I love your answer to the fence. But if you stay a maybe, then the decision will be made for you when the timer hits 0 on that page. And I don't know about you, but I don't like decisions being made for me, especially about my success and my financial future. I don't want to sit back and say, hey, you know what? Somebody else make the decision. And by the way, I know there are people in this world, I know many of them, that like that. They like other people to make the decision. So we will make it for you. When that timer hits 0, you automatically go from a maybe to a no. It's done. Decision made for you. You have no chance of getting into product eClass with a special deal with these special bonuses anymore. Done deal, right? I would prefer, though, if you at least remain the maybe for 30 days to then make your own choice of yes or no. So I don't make it for you. You make it.
Yeah.
That would be best. Now let's talk about
qualified yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Qualified yes.
So qualified yes. Exactly. A qualified yes. Qualified meaning you will try it for 30 days.
Yeah, here's my ticket to the restaurant where I can sample every dish. And if I find the ones that I like, and then you bring them out and give me the 4-course, 12-course meal, right? And if I like it, great. If not, you'll give me my ticket entrance back to me, and I'll have tasted every meal and every dish.
Yep, exactly. So, Jason, let's talk about being on the fence. When people say, I am on the fence.
Did Ian get back to us, by the way, or not?
Let me see. Go ahead and answer about being on the fence.
So I am certain at this point, Will, that the main cause of hemorrhoids is sitting on the fence, right? I think sitting on the fence causes hemorrhoids because it certainly doesn't do any favors for your behind, right? It's very uncomfortable to sit on the fence. I don't know. Why would anybody ever want to willingly sit on a fence? So it's always like, let's put our feet on the ground. You got to pick a side to put your feet on the ground at, but let's just get off the fence because there's no comfort in sitting on a fence. Sitting on a fence is very uncomfortable. But really the question is, you need to know certain things to decide which side of the fence that you want to put your feet on. And that's one of the reasons why Will and I are here. Now, forgive us if we get a little zealous sometimes. We are passionate about what we do because we've seen the journey that many people have taken. So we know it from beginning to end. Right now, you really only know it from beginning. And so forgive us if we get a little too excited sometimes, but know that that's where that comes from.
So Ian did answer the question. So his original question is, will this play well or work well with challenges? And then he said, yes, he's having some issues with challenges. If that fixes the problem, then yes.
Okay, great.
If it doesn't, then no.
So that's good to know. And the reason I asked Ian that question is because, again, I'm not in the question answering business. And sometimes people will ask a question, you could answer it, and they'll ask you another question. So I just wanted to know where Ian's head's at. So Ian is saying, yes, if you can satisfactorily answer this question for me, Jason, then I'm in. Now, if I had Ian sitting right next to me and I could talk to him one-on-one, and maybe we can do a little bit of that in the chat, it gets kind of awkward, right? But when Ian says I'm having a challenge with challenges, and I'm wondering how products could fix that, my first question to him would be, what is it that you know needs to be done that isn't being done right now with your challenges to make them successful? That would be the first question that I would ask Ian. And I'm not going to wait for a real-time answer from him. If he chimes in one, we can fold this into my answers and how I would respond to this. But the reality is anything on its own that you have paid money for and put time into, Ian, or anybody else on this call, there was probably a good reason for it. It was probably a smart decision for you. Now, has it paid off exactly and went out the way you planned? Not necessarily. So when looking at things through a lens, you have two lenses to look at an opportunity like Product eClass on its own with its own merit. And I think you should consider doing that. So let's pretend you don't even know what a challenge model is and you've never done that. Would you do this if this was an option that was put in front of you? Yes or no? So that's the first way that I would look at this. But the second way I would look at this is through the lens of how could information help me with what I'm already doing? And how could Product eClass specifically as the best vehicle for leveraging information help me, right? First of all, one of the bonuses you get is a challenge, the follower challenge. Before I ever did any challenge online, and I've been doing challenges since 2010, I first did information products. It was when I discovered that I could repurpose information into a challenge that made the biggest difference. The best way to do a challenge is with existing customers who've already paid you money. You could do a challenge on the exact same thing with the exact same amount of steps that you taught them. Okay, let me take it back. First product I ever sold that was more than $27. It took me a year or two to work up the nerve, right? Was a product it was a group coaching session on how to do copywriting. because I took my product, the copywriting success shortcut system, you know, the one that rolls right off the tongue, and that was a 12-step process. And so I said one day to my audience, I said, I learned this new thing called webinars, and I'm going to teach the same 12-step process, but instead of an ebook form, I'm going to do it one step a week for 12 weeks on 12 webinars. Would you like to join? It's $200. And I made more money from that offer at that time than anything I'd done previous to that. Okay. What I discovered later is 12 is way too long to do anything, 12 weeks, right? Almost killed myself in the process. And I learned a lot of things about how to do it better the next time. But one thing stuck with me since then, and it was this. There was nothing exactly new from my $17 ebook on the copywriting success shortcut system. In the 297 or 197, it was something like that. It was either 200, 300 bucks, what we called the copy eClass, which was the first eClass that I ever ran, right? There was fundamentally no difference. It was the same exact 12 steps. The only difference was I presented it instead of wrote about it, and I used more examples, and I talked to people at the end of the sessions, right? The number one buyer we had of our eClass, which is essentially like a challenge in so many ways, was people who had bought the $17 PDF. That blew my mind until I really understood that. So here's my point to you, Ian, is I believe you can do it either way. You put a challenge in front of an information product, you're going to do awesome with both. You put an information product in front of a challenge, you're going to do fan-freaking-tastic because they will always work well with each other. They are synergistic. One will create desire, demand, and be easier for you to fulfill when you combine it with the other, right? If one is salt, the other is pepper. If one is a shoe, the other one's the sock. If one is a pillow, the other is a pillowcase. What I do know is the following. I am a pursuer of strategic advantage, not tactical advantage. And you say to me, Jason, what's the difference between this? Well, first of all, this whole internet marketing game is run on tactical advantage. Tactics suck, all right? So tactics are things like, hey, listen, if you put a little emoji in your email subject line, then you'll get a higher click-through rate. And if you mail it at 4:53 a.m. as opposed to 7 a.m., you're going to get more people to open it. That's all tactical crap, right? Here's why that sucks. If your email content is about watching paint dry, I don't care when you mail it and what emojis you use. All right, you feel me? If nobody's on your email list because you can't put people on there and nobody wants to open up your emails, you have failed. So I look to solve the strategic issues, not the tactical ones. The strategy is this. If I solve one problem, how will it automatically solve 1,000 other problems? And so what we teach in Product eClass, which is different than everybody else, is the strategic foundation. So I'll give you some hints to that. Earlier we talked about them, right? Is I want to solve a problem that I don't need any previous experience in, that I can deliver a solution for that's only a few pages long and sell it to somebody who would be happy to buy it, even though it's only a few pages. That's a strategic problem-solving exercise. How do we find people that would be happy to pay us $10 for only 5 pages of information? That is a strategic way to solve the problem. And so what I have discovered, Product eClass, the foundation strategical problem-solving skill sets that we've developed into models here, they lend themselves more easily to every other business than anything else that I've seen because Product eClass has that foundational element to it. So even when we teach people how to sell stuff on Amazon, a large part of what we were able to learn to be successful on Amazon came from our foundational strategic understanding of Product eClass and selling information products. I know that sounds crazy, right? Best way to sell a physical product to somebody is to sell them an information product first. Best way to monetize a list of physical product buyers is to add information to it. Every single person, let me put it a different way. Every single person who ever makes a decision to buy anything uses and relies on information in order to make that decision. Think about that. So because that is a criteria of purchase, that is the purest form that you can make money online, is understanding selling information and using information to sell information and leveraging information to sell information. If you do that, you sell anything else, right? It just so happens a lot of us, we get excited about information businesses because we can create products without supply chain issues, right? We can create products that have almost 100% profit margin, and we can re-leverage those products because I can't tell you how many times I've taught students to take a product, that was aimed at this market, change just a couple of words to it and maybe a page or two and aim it at a completely different market and open up a massive amount of new profit and new potential. There is no more efficient, quicker, easier way that I know of than to create products 1-1-1 style. So Ian, challenge or no, I say you're in, man.
So he clarified a little bit more, but I don't want to stay too long on this, Jason. So let me just add something. One of the issues is limited ability to get to run Facebook ads and get enough of an audience.
So let me answer that a different way, Will. Sorry, I'm interrupting you. Let's just say none of you are allowed to use Facebook, period, right? Let's say for whatever reason, Mark Zuckerberg woke up one day and he said, everybody who's ever bought product eClass from Jason Fladlien, I am not going to allow them to run Facebook ads, right? I would still tell you to buy product eClass because Facebook ads are about the last thing that we want you to be doing to sell your information products. They're the hardest, they're the most time consuming, they cost the most amount of money, and they have with them the biggest amount of risk, right? Once you get your black belt in information product selling, then you can run Facebook ads. But until you have the black belt, I'm not going to let you spar with the master sensei that is Facebook advertising. Now, do we teach it? Absolutely. What session is it, by the way? The last session, right? It is a dangerous thing to do. Now, it's seductive. I get it, right? It's kind of like this. Everybody in the world knows, tell me if I'm out of line here, but you all know that you can't take a pill to lose weight, right? That's not sustainable. That doesn't actually work. But how many people make millions of dollars a year selling diet pills? The market is about $1 billion in size, right? So it is seductive, and it sounds really cool to take the pill and lose the weight. Well, that's what Facebook ads are to most people. They think it's a pill they can take to make money. And it's usually just the same as weight loss pills. You end up wasting money on the pills, and you gain weight in the process, right? So that's what this is like. So I'm telling each and every single one of you, if you want to throw in some Facebook with some funny money to screw around with and see what happens in long-term education from the School of Hard Knocks, be my guest. But that is the last place I would recommend most of you play with unless you've already been successful selling information products. To this day, our ad budget on Facebook is about, on most months is $0, but if we cost averaged it out over the year, Will, what do we look at? $200 a month, $300 a month maybe?
Something like that. So let me add something to Ian. So Ian is using Pedro's challenge model, which is great.
Yep. Hopefully invested through us, right?
Yeah. And he's running probably some Facebook ads to do that. So here's how it's going to help you. If you're going to follow that model, Ian, one of the ways that you can help your ad budget is by upselling something in the registration process.
Brilliant.
If you have your own product.
Brilliant.
Now you've just made a humongous improvement in your ad budget. Let's say you had $100 to spend before in your ad budget. If you're able to recover the cost of that $100, then you just have another 100. And if you recover that $100, you have another 100.
Yeah,
so your budget grows and grows and grows and grows to whatever you need it to be.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Guys like Pedro don't invest $100,000 or $200,000 in ads because they feel like it, or because he just likes to spend it. He recovers. He spends hundreds of thousands of dollars in ads during a launch that he makes millions on, but it only costs him maybe $10,000 to run those ads, right?
They pay for themselves.
They pay for themselves.
Now,
how can you make it pay for yourselves? You got to have your own products to sell.
And typically your average Facebook funnel, because I consult with most of these big Facebook buying guys and I know their funnels and everything like that, your average person who makes money on Facebook has 4 information products in their initial funnel. They have 4 offers that they make. They have the front end offer, they have a checkbox upsell, they have another upsell, a one-time offer, and 2 downsells typically. So congratulations. If you can create 5 products, then you can run a funnel. If you don't have 5 products, boy, you better make up for it in some way, shape, or form. And so this is why I like to first have you create lots of products, because then you can Frankenstein them together. Then you can kind of, duct tape them together, and that's how you can be successful. But the reason why most people, by the way, there's an endless line of guys that's going to sell you courses on how to do Facebook. But it is disingenuous to believe you can actually do it if you don't have a deep funnel. That's the only way you can make Facebook work. So I assume none of you have 5 information products properly positioned that are complementary to each other lying around. And then technically speaking, by the way, it's very complicated technically to put them together, right? How do you make money with one product that's a low ticket product? You ain't going to be able to do that in Facebook, but at least you can create a product, put it out there and make some money with it. And then guess who you run your challenge to it. So you do that with the methods I teach in Product eClass. Then you can run a challenge or anything else you want to your existing customers who just bought from you, because you don't have to pay any money to be in front of them with the next offer or the next opportunity. And so again, by the way, and that's why there's a session for that. That's session 3. That is the back end profits. But again, I do not think it is a wise decision to ask you to create 5 information products before you drive traffic. No, there are simpler solutions out there where you can take a low ticket product, run it, get customers. Once you have a customer, all of a sudden every internet marketing tactic seems to work in your favor, right? Why? 2 reasons. 1, you push your button and you're in front of a whole bunch of people. But 2, you're in front of people who have trusted you with money before. And that's the best audience you could ever hope to get. So my goal is always to accelerate the ability for you to get people who know your name and have paid you money in the past. And we do that through 111 type of products, and we do that through Product eClass. And then we add to it. Then we build upon it. Then Facebook ads can work for you. Then you can do certain other models like challenges. Then you can also start offering high-ticket versions of the low-ticket products that you've created. And any number of different various possibilities emerge. But if you don't do the first step, it doesn't matter if you know steps 2 through 27. They're inapplicable until you do step number 1.
Here's the beauty about having your own products. It works and it enhances whatever other business model you want to pursue, no matter what. So we have a training program on affiliate marketing, affiliate triad, and it's all about affiliate marketing, right? But since the beginning, we have been telling our members, we want you're affiliate marketers, but you will really be an awesome affiliate marketer, an amazing affiliate marketer when you have your own products. So eventually we want you to create your own products. It all leads to have your own products. If you want to fully control your destiny, if you want to grow a massive business or a little business or whatever size of business you want, right? And you want full control, and you want to not worry about traffic at some point in the future and not worry about where the sales are going to come in or how you're going to grow your list or all of that, you've got to start creating products. Yep. It's no wonder Product eClass has been at the core of Rapid Crush in our business for years and years. And I think this is like the 6th or 7th iteration of it, Jason. I lose count.
Yes, the 6th iteration of it. Yep.
6th iteration. And it keeps getting better and better and better, because it's core. And it's funny, you said earlier, it's not a shiny object, because people don't talk about product creation anymore. It's interesting, right? Because back in 2012, there were so many courses on product creation after we launched Product eClass, right? Funny enough.
Some of them are from our students, interestingly enough.
Some of them are from our students, yeah. So now it's hard to find a product creation class. You can go hunt for one, but I guarantee in your inbox in the last month, if you received one product creation email that wasn't related to Product eClass, that's probably a miracle, because people are talking about social media stuff and video, and they're talking about this software, that software, or Facebook advertising, or Instagram this and Pinterest that, right?
Yep.
Those things are sexy because they get headlines.
E-commerce is super hot right now, right?
E-commerance and
print on demand and all that
markets. We play in those markets. We have intimate knowledge of the physical products business, for example, and we believe in it, right?
Yep.
But information products, they enhance every single business model. By the way, information products massively enhance a physical products business, and vice versa.
Yep.
The two, like most people think that the two are apart, and then they think affiliate marketing is apart from that. So here's the funny thing, right, Jason? You have like the people that create digital products and like digital products. There's an an inherent appeal to some people to do that because they don't want to deal with anything physical or any of that. Then there are people that really get attracted to physical products, right? And they think physical and digital, they think they're on the opposite ends of the spectrum. And then there are people that says, I don't want to deal with any products. I just want to be affiliates. And it's funny because the three are so intertwined.
Yes.
Right? If you
Absolutely.
really want to grow a business. Because if you sell an info product, physical products are awesome to sell on the back of digital products, right? If you sell a physical product, vice versa, I mean, it works the same way. Some of the biggest products in the health space on the digital side make way more money selling physical products afterwards. Think supplements, right? You sell a weight loss ebook and you sell supplements to people that buy that ebook, or sell other physical products. The same thing, you sell supplements, you can sell a training course or a challenge.
See
right?
it all the time.
If you're an affiliate marketer, if you have a customer base, you market affiliate products to that audience, right? So it is like, if you want to play online at all, no matter what method you're using of business model, having digital products is going to play a huge role in growth and success and competitive advantage, especially if others in your market, because there are a lot of different niches, right? If there are other people in your market not creating digital products, massive advantage for you. Massive advantage for you.
What was the first thing Amazon sold before anything else?
Books.
Yeah, and what are books? Those are information products. Now, they did it physically, but it doesn't matter the mechanism of delivery. Amazon sat down and said, we want to conquer the world and sell everything. That was always their vision. So Jeff Bezos didn't accidentally luck into being the quote-unquote everything store. Day number one, there was a smile that started on the A and ended on the Z on that logo, and that's the A to Z store. He eventually knew he was going to do that. But where did he start? He started selling information products. It started first with books, and then they added CDs and DVDs. And yeah, there's some entertainment in some of those products as well, right? But a primarily biggest core market of Amazon, the initial adopters, were primarily focused on information. And that's where Bezos started. So like, you know, he's only the richest guy in the world. So if it's good enough for him, I think it's good enough for us, right? Whatever foundation that you are building online to make money that doesn't include information is like building a house on sand. It's very dangerous. But I understand why you do it, because there's this misconception that information products equate to you having to master something and spend years agonizing and toiling until you find a one-of-a-kind solution that changes everything, right? Or you have bad role models of what information products are, because most of these people that create information products, they shouldn't be allowed anywhere near a Google Doc. Because they take 27 pages telling you their life story before they even tell you step one. They don't even give you steps, right? They think that you have to create encyclopedias, and that's an information product, right? Or they grew up on the old days before the internet, where there was this concept called thud factor, and they were taught by the old salty dogs of yore who said, hey, the best way to sell information products is to load people up with a bunch of useless crap. Give them 27 different modules of this and that. They called it thud factor because it was a physical product that if you dropped it on a desk, it would go thud. And people did buy it. They fell for that trick for a short period of time. And then when they realized this isn't even worth toilet paper during a pandemic to wipe my butt with, then they said, we don't want thud factor. We want something that is specific and valuable. And that's when the market woke up. And people like us, we realized that new school type of marketers that I came from the internet, first generation, right? We're like, I don't have to thud, because there is no thud digitally. Whether my ebook is 6,000 pages or 6 pages, there's no thud. You can't drop it on a desk anywhere, right? And so that's what the market wants. That's what it's always wanted. It's more ethical to serve them, and it's more valuable that way. That's exactly how we teach things. And that is the core fundamental premise and foundation of how all the money is made. Because again, even if somebody's buying something else, they use information to make that decision. whether that's a pitch or whether that's a product. By the way, your product is the greatest sales pitch you could ever hope to have. The number one way I see consultants make money, the number one way I see coaches make money, is somebody reads their information or watches their information product first. And that does a better sales job than any other sales job could ever do. And that's even true if you say, let me share every secret for you on how to do this, right? I have a book that hardest thing I ever made, and it's the cheapest thing I sell these days, right? And it's a book, and it's like $9, and it teaches people how to do a very specific process, and it shows every single thing. And at the end of it, it asks them if they want to do it alone or they want to hire the service to do it for them. And the service was $30,000 starting, plus some royalties involved usually, right? And from something that everybody knew how to do exactly, because I revealed every single secret on. The best sales job you could ever do is to tell them everything on how to do it on their own if you ever want to do anything for them. I don't care what model you use on the back of information products. It doesn't matter to me. Do whatever you feel is right. Play with stuff. Keep what you like. Throw away the rest. But man, if you don't have that product information with the way that we teach it, which is in and out in an afternoon, that's where you start. Start with the white belt lesson. Don't start with the black belt lesson, right? That if you get that done, then you can do things however you wish to do them. But if you don't have that, you, my friend, are bringing a wet spaghetti noodle to a tank fight, right? It's going to be that much harder. And I know this isn't sexy. I know there are millions of things I could sell to you that would be easier to sell, that would make me more money short term selling those to you. But straight up, we have made millions of dollars from people that originally started as students in product eClass, who created products that we later on promoted as affiliates, or who built audiences up and then recommended me to them, to their audience, because they say, this is where I learned how to do what I'm doing, right? And I know that if I plant a tree today, I will enjoy shade for many years to come, but I have to wait for that tree to grow. So this is me planting the tree today so I can enjoy the shade in the future. And this is one of the reasons why we sell it, despite the fact that it is not a bright, shiny object, despite the fact that I know that there are a lot easier sells that we can make out there. But I also sell this for a second reason. It is my stupid human trick. It is something I am incredibly good at, partly because I just get this naturally, but more likely because I've spent 12 years and 1,000+ products doing this. And I enjoy offering it to you. And I really just want you to try it out.
Awesome. Jason, I'm going to, yeah, Ian said you nailed it. Congratulations. Good job, Ian. We look forward
to
he
signed up, correct?
Ian, yeah, did you sign up yet? And if not,
see, I don't leave things to chance. And by the way, I take that same attitude when I train product eClass. Like I don't allow any gray area. We get down to business.
Yeah. So Marilyn, we're answering, there's still hundreds of people here. So we're answering questions. They fly by really fast on our screen. So feel free to ask again. We're not on purpose ignoring you or anything.
And I get caught up, as I'm sure all of you have picked up on by now, right? As I get really emotionally passionate about something and I dive into it. Hopefully it's valuable to you, regardless of it's contextually exact. Hopefully you see the heart and intent behind the answer, and that can help you.
Yeah. So, okay, Jason, I'm gonna say something to prove a point here and answer a question at the same time. When I said information products can be the root of everything, right? Yep. And can tie to anything and enhance anything that you do. There's a particular business models that there's no judgment. You and I just personally are not fans of, which is multi-level marketing or MLMs, right?
Yep.
But I will tell you that one of the top MLM producers that I've ever seen, MLM is where you get people under you to do stuff, right? Like you get downlines and stuff like that.
Multi-level marketing.
Multi-level marketing.
Network marketing.
Network marketing. One of the most successful network marketers that I know, and I mean, we're talking a guy that does tens of millions of dollars a year, right? He is an information marketer. He markets information because then he grows an audience. Yep. And then guess who he's pitching the MLM to? The audience. Now, is he building products around the products he sells for the MLM? No, he's not. He's building information products around a specific niche that may then interest those people. And then when he and by the way, he does this for lots of MLMs. When he wants to establish a downline in an MLM, all he has to do is contact his audience that purchase a specific product. And the guy gets hundreds and thousands of people to sign up as a downline. So yes, it can work. I mean, information products are amazing. So let's get to some other questions though. One of the questions that has been asked in several different ways. So folks, pay attention because I may state it in a different way, but it's the same question you've asked, right? There are so many, and you've addressed this in a webinar, but maybe they missed it. There are so many free products out there, free videos, free content. How do you compete with that? Or how do you sell a product when there's so much free information out there?
Great question, right? So first of all, you don't compete with that, right? If somebody wants to give away the milk for free, then nobody has to buy that cow. That's okay, right? You let people do their thing. You don't have to compete with it. Here's what I know to be true. There's so many things that are true. One is, whether it makes sense or not that people would pay for something if they could get it for free, the fact is they do, right? Since we started, we're at $38 million right now of people who have bought information products since about 15 minutes into this webinar. So there might be people who will never buy an information product, but we don't care about them. They might as well not exist. All I know is every single day, soon to be close to $1 billion worth of information products will be purchased online per day, right? So on one hand, I don't have to know. I don't know how electricity works, but I know I flip a switch and the light comes on. So I don't need to really concern myself with that. So for some of you, that's a good enough answer. Some of you need a different answer. So let me try to give you a different answer, right? There is a lot of people out there who believe information is worth what you pay for it. And when you pay nothing for it, how much is that information worth? Nothing. Certain people, in order to derive benefit and get value out of information, must pay for it. You're not doing them any favors if you don't charge them, and they're not doing any favors if they don't pay for it, right? It is harmful to their own well-being if they don't invest in it. And look at your own behavior if you think that sounds crazy. There are so many things you've gotten for free that you've barely paid attention to, and there are things that you've paid for that you made it your primary focus and you got benefit out of it. Tell me if that's true or not, right? So there's that concept. Here's another concept for you. If I had to answer it a third way, here's what my answer would be. There are things out there that I could learn how to do on my own through purely free information. If I'm willing to spend 8 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours combing the internet like Sherlock Holmes, finding all this little knowledge here, and here, and stitching it all together, yeah, I could save money on buying a course, right? But even if I worked as a Walmart greeter and I made the California minimum wage, let's just say it's $15. I don't know what it is, right? I could work for 15 hours at Walmart, make $150, right? And then take $10 of that and buy an ebook from somebody who has themselves spent 10 hours finding out everything that's for free. So literally that ebook could have every piece of information that's freely available in it because somebody somewhere was enterprising enough to spend 10 to 15 hours during the research, right? Now, nobody on their own it would not make sense economically for them to spend 10 to 15 hours unless they could sell it over and over again. So imagine if you yourself spent 10 to 15 hours of doing research to organize for a fee information that could be found freely available, right? And you charge somebody $10 for that information. Even a Walmart greeter would find a good deal in that. And the cool thing, though, is you can sell that product to 1,000 people, and now you made $10,000. You sell it to 10,000 people, now you made $100,000. You feeling what I'm saying here? Even if what you taught was freely available, if you save people hours of time, or in some cases even minutes of time, so they pay you for the organization of it, right? How is that not valuable? So that is yet another reason why the information business continues to thrive. Oftentimes we pay for what we don't have to focus on as opposed to pay for what we should focus on. Oftentimes when we pay for information products, we pay for somebody to tell us, ignore the 99% of free information and focus on this 1% instead. And that is more valuable, by the way, than having everything out there. So there's another reason, though, and this is yet a fourth reason, is when people get a result with information, they become emotionally more interested in getting more information. And if they can get it for free, they'll take it. But if they also see something and they can pay for it, they'll probably want to buy it. All right? Because they have a reference point. I got free information. It was valuable to me. It was helpful to me. Here's more information. I got to pay for this one, but it seems really interesting as well. Last time I got like $20 of value in this free product, and this product is $5 over here. And if I get $20 of value again, that's a deal. Doesn't matter if the information I previously got was free. People don't judge it that way. They don't say, well, I can get so-and-so for free, so then I should never pay for something again. No, they say, wow, I got that for free and it was valuable. I have to pay for this, but it still seems to be more valuable than what it's charging. I'll buy it. And that's the brilliance of information products. So producteclass.com/special. Another brilliant part of information products is it's instantly available when you purchase it. You don't have to wait 2 days, even if you're a Prime member, for it to show up at your door. Remember the days, Will, when there was cash on demand, allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery, right? People bought back then even. Yep. But still today, it just keeps getting easier and easier.
These days, even Amazon, sometimes you got to wait several days or weeks to get stuff, right?
I will buy a book, Will, both in physical print format and Kindle, because I can't wait the 2 days for them to ship out the physical book. I prefer physical books. I like to read them. I like to touch them. I don't like to have them on a phone device, which is also a dopamine addiction reinforcement machine, right? But I can't wait 2 days to get the info product. So I will buy it twice. I will buy the same product twice in 2 different formats, just so I can satiate my immediate desire to get it on Kindle and then wait for it to come in mail as well.
Nice. All right, Jason, listen, we are 3 hours into this. We've got to process this web recording, and it's going to take a while, and I know people are chomping at the bit to watch it again. Here's my suggestion to you. Even if you want to watch the recording again, if you've already made a decision, go ahead and sign up. And while you wait for the recording to come out, because there's some great nuggets in this recording, even after you purchase product eClass, you may want to watch this again if you have the time, right? But start consuming the content. So you can actually have the real content, the real complete product eClass content before the recording even comes out. So I suggest that you go into product eClass now. And by the way, I said earlier that not a lot of people would do it. Prove me wrong. I'd love for a lot of you to have a product by Monday.
Yep.
And it is totally possible. Session 0 is going to teach you how to do it in one sitting.
There's one single slide in session 0.
One product by Monday.
Yeah, there's one single slide in session 0 that will lay for you the exact framework template of how I organize every single information product that I create these days, whether it's a one-sitting product or a multi-module product.
So sign up. We will see you on the inside, as they say. And we look forward. I do ask one thing though, from future members here or members have just signed up. Do us a favor, when you start selling your product and when you start seeing your huge success and when this changes your life, would you do us a humongous favor and write to support@rapidcrush.com and tell us your story? Because I cannot tell you how many times we've gone to conferences and events and people will recognize Jason or I or somebody in our company that's with us, and they'll come to us and say, wow, I got to thank you guys. You changed my life. You know, I made $1 million from this one course that you taught me this or that 3 years ago. And I'm like, seriously? And it took you 3 years to let me know about it? I mean, I'm happy for the person, right? But like, it took you 3 years? Shame on me, shame on you. I mean, come on. So write us, because while we like the money, and by the way, we do this for the money, don't get us wrong, right? We're no saints, we're capitalists, right? We do it for the money for lots of reasons, not just because we're collecting money, but for lots of reasons. It's for what it enables us to do. But we also get major satisfaction when we help people succeed. And that keeps us going more than anything else.
Yep.
Because we could do a lot less if it was just about the money.
Correct. Yep.
So write to us and say, hey, look, I just launched this product. Let us know what your product is. Let us know how you did. Let us know how it changed your life. Send us your story. And
even the small initial successes, I want to hear all of them.
Send us an email when you get your first sale, because I will tell you, there's nothing sweeter. Your first sell, even if it's like 1 penny or $1 or $10, doesn't matter what it is, your first sell online is the sweetest sell ever. You talk to anybody who's ever started an online business and they'll tell you the same thing. They remember the exact circumstances of their first sale. That is going to be the sweetest sale. Share that with us.
Yep.
I remember my first sale. I mean, it was just amazing to make money like that online from something I created out of nothing, out of my skill, right?
That's when
out
it makes it real. That's when you realize you can do it. I could tell you can do it. Will says you can do it. We all tell you other people have done it, but it doesn't really feel possible until you make that first dollar. And then you say, wow, I can just repeat that. And then it becomes very, very addictive.
Everybody wants to make 6 figures, right, Jason? It seems like. And then some people want to make 7 figures and the fewer people want to make 8 figures, right? I will tell you, the first $1,000 is the most difficult. After you make your first 1,000, your first 100 is the most difficult.
Yep.
After you make the first $100, 1,000 is like, it's just repeating the process a few more times. And 1,000 is just repeating the same exact process a few more times.
Yeah.
So focus on making that first dollar.
It's when your confidence really happens. People will say, well, when I'm confident, then I'll do this. It doesn't work that way. Do it, and then you will become confident once it reaches somebody and has some sort of impact, which is why I am very much for you selling low-ticket products at first. I believe that's the maximum amount of way that you can make money, is to sell very inexpensive products. Because then when it's done, all of a sudden you'll get brave. I was scared out of my mind to ask somebody for $4 when I started in this business. Absolutely terrified. $4 was pushing it. And then when 1,000 people bought my product and said it was awesome, then I felt like a fool for keeping it at $4. And all of a sudden it became really easy to raise the price. But what did I raise it to? $7, right? I was still somewhat scared, still somewhat reluctant. But I felt foolish to keep losing all that money, so I raised the price a little bit, and people still bought it at the same rate. And then I started getting motivated, like, well, what can we find out? Where's the breaking point? Is there a breaking point? That's how you do it. I mean, that's not technique. That is the absurdity of seeing how well what you do has worked and knowing that any slight adjustment to it will magnify it even further. But you got to get that initial success before anything else is possible. And that's the whole premise of the foundation of what Product eClass is built around. If I get you going, I want to be the snowflake that triggers that profit avalanche for you. Let's wrap it up, Will, and let's get some people in and let's make some future next big successes in this business.
Exactly. So get in there right now. You have absolutely nothing to risk, right? The risk is ours in a double fashion. First of all, 30 days, you don't even have to do any work to claim the 30-day guarantee. You literally can just do nothing or just watch videos or just let your cat watch the videos. I don't know, right? Within 30 days, just ask for your money back, but at least you have access and you can experience it yourself. If you actually do some work, then you're guaranteed to succeed. Because we have your double your money back guarantee. We will literally pay you to do the work, regardless of whether you make sales or not. Just do the work. Get started. It is Thursday, mid-afternoon, Los Angeles time, US Pacific time. You can be there. You can watch the first video tonight if you're in the US. You can start thinking about your product tomorrow, create it on Saturday, put it for sale on Sunday, and have your first sell on Monday. How sweet would that be? And then don't forget what you have to do. You got to tell me about your success by writing to support@rapidcrush.com. If you have any issues whatsoever with signing up, payment problems, technical issues, anything at all that is preventing you from signing up today, write to support@rapidcrush.com. You can always find the support link at the bottom of that page as well, producteclass.com/special. I look forward to hearing about all of your massive success. Thank you very much for spending this time with us.
We'll talk soon. Bye for now.